Hey there, gorgeous gays. Version 2 here with Hollow Knight. We're back in Godhome. When we last left off, Markov was a Markunt. Um, just an asshole. Just a fucking piece shit, scum fuck, dick shit, piss of a cunt fuck. So we're not gonna fight Markov immediately today because God howdy, do I not want to start with Markov again? We'll end the stream with Markov and I'll cry afterwards, as opposed to trying Markov now and crying for the rest of the stream. So we're gonna do whatever's next. I'm going back to getting my baby back build. We're gonna go back to this. We're gonna go back to this. Was it Sprint Master? We're gonna go back to having this build. Okay, so I've got Weaver, Grub, and Sprint. I've got Shaman and Spell Twister to make spells more powerful. I have 2 left. I always forget which one I was going for Grim for a while, but I'm pretty sure I can get better out of 2 slots for that. I feel like Weaver Song is still coming in really handy, even with my power of now actually learning that you can upgrade the fucking nail. Weaver Song's still fun with that, just because it's so consistent and persistent, and with Grub Song, you constantly get the stuff back. I feel, especially now that I've upgraded my nail, Grimchild has fallen behind. Grimchild is nice for just extra pops of damage when you're really weak, but I'm not that anymore. So I feel like Grimchild is probably nowhere near as useful. It's so annoying. I'm 1 short of having Unbreakable Strength on here as well, which is a little irritating. 1 short of that. Soul Catcher, I don't think gives us enough soul. Every time I've used this, I've not noticed enough of a difference for it to be worth 2 fucking slots. So I probably won't bother with that. I mean, there is Soul Eater, which is apparently meant to be more, but that's 4. No, thank you. I'd rather just use this. This makes it as costless in the first place. This is mostly useful if you're healing a bunch, but we're dying so quickly. Healing's a factor. We're getting hit for 2 damage on everything here. It doesn't really change anything. So our options are, so we could have Long Nail, kind of Marker Pride, but we could have Long Nail to try and attack from a bit of a better distance. Can't get Quick Slash. Heavy Blow's not really useful when we're fighting a bunch of bosses. None of these really help much. Glowing Womb is nice, but my spells are so powerful that, again, now that my spells are so powerful because of the upgrades and everything, Glowing Worm, this is the Weaver Song of, it's just consistent, persistent damage, but it's not being outscaled because of the rest of our spells. The baby build was very good for the way that my playthrough went. What the fuck my playthrough worked very, very well for baby builds, but we have slightly progressed past that. I'll still use Weaver Song, though, because Weaver Song is still just good for chip damage, persistently over time, and for soul. To get those sweet milkies. Sharp Shadow could be nice. Sharp Shadow could be nice, for dashing and stuff like that. Part of me wants to just go now Master's Glory and find another one. Dude, just focus on charge attacks, on just whacking shit. Part of me is thinking that if I go for that, what's another one that's worth it? Steady body, so I just don't get knocked back. Thorns of Agony, not really. Not really Thorns of Agony, just because they stop you after you get hit. You don't keep moving, which sometimes is helpful and sometimes completely fucks you over. Dream Wielder is too awkward to use, and then you got Spore Shroom. Probably Steady Body, honestly. You know what, fuck it. For the time being, I don't even know what we're about to fight next, so fuck it. For the time being, I'm going for Now Master Glory and Steady Body. We'll go for those. So if I'm doing basic attacks, then won't be moving, and then I can do charge attacks faster. So we'll go for that for the time being. I don't know what we're actually currently fighting. We're not doing Markov. The bitter climb continues. Markov is an asshole. This dude's such a fucking prick. Fuck this fucker. Sup, Doodles? Sorry, this has happened a number of times for Hollow Knight specifically. To people who love watching Hollow Knight, Domino and Doodles. Domino and Doodles, both names begin with a D, have a capital letter later on in a purple. And I get really confused seeing those 2 names in chat. I base who's talking on chat so strongly on the color. We also have the same bits milestones. Yeah, it doesn't help. But Domino, you gotta keep the purple. Domino, you have to keep purple because of your hair. You have to keep purple. It's your color. It's like asking me to not go red. Like, no. I can just learn to read. Me learning how to read as someone who plays games that have a shitload of text is probably not the worst idea. I ain't purple anymore. I gotta accept it. Re-dye it purple. I got my hair dyed last week. I encourage you to go and do the same. Not that you can tell my hair is terrible. Okay, sorry. I haven't brushed my hair since getting home. I also haven't washed my hair for 2 days. I feel disgusting and horrifying, but I've been very exhausted, which is totally new for me. I haven't washed my hair for 2 days, which is gross and awful, and I hate it. And you can tell, like, it's not even slightly so. Like, sometimes I'll bitch about my hair when it's not that bad. Today, it's fucked, right? Like, it's not anything. It's just sitting on top of my head. All of this is happening over here. It's flat as hell. It's just stuck. There's no styling to it. I don't even know if I fucking brushed it before I went to work this morning because I was in a rush. I woke up late. So I don't even know if I fucking brushed my hair. And I haven't brushed it since getting home. Fucking weird as shit. Every fucking time that I go 2 or 3 days without washing my hair, I get gendered correctly more frequently at work, and I don't get it. I don't get it. So I didn't do anything with my hair before the stream because I was gonna bring it up at some point, and then we started talking about hair. So fuck it, talk about it now. But yeah. When my hair is a mess and just not cared for, apparently this hairstyle says woman more frequently to my customers, and I don't understand it. Oh, it's gonna take me a while to get used to seeing the yellow there. I need to find a place that dyes hair for more than for more than a full day of work. Uncanny to see Domino as yellow, or uncanny that I get gendered more frequently with hair like this? Which one is it? Which one? Both? I think both are uncanny. I mean, when the yellow. What was my brain saying? Yeah, I get my hair redone every 8 weeks. I got it also thinned out a lot more this time than usual, which I'm loving. My hair is so much more pliable with how much it's thinned out, and honestly, I have so much fucking hair that visually, you probably can't tell that much. You probably can't tell that much that my hair is a lot thinner, but it's thinned out a lot. But I get my hair slightly trimmed to kind of keep it at roughly the same length and re-dyed every 8 weeks, and I spend $160 on that each time I get that done. I've now found out what hair color I like, and I've found out what hair length and style that I want. I'm willing to put in the money to keep it that way. I look back at my old streams before I started doing this with my hair, and the amount of times that my hair would change color or fade forever or just get roots growing really badly or just be incredibly long and just not doing anything, and I'm just like, no, I'll spend the money to keep it the same. Though I won't spend the 20 minutes it takes to have a shower to make it not look like shit. My life is exhausting. I went for the faded bleached hair color. Fair point. Life is exhausting. I'm beginning to think that trying to be a full-time streamer at the same time as working a full-time job is something that's difficult to do. It's especially rough now that I'm doing 14 and Tears of the Kingdom during the week and they're 5-hour streams. But did I take good enough care of my hair? I'm only doing it now because I found something that I want to do with it. For when I was much younger, I gave it the slightest of shits about my hair. I never cared about my hair. But then I let it grow out a bit, and I dyed it, and then I was just like, oh, I care about my hair a hell of a lot more now, because it looks a lot nicer. And now that I found something that I really like to do with my hair, so I'm gonna keep it that way. Okay. I gotta remember, this bitch's thing is that, his scythe has momentum. Yeah. That's the part about this fight that I gotta remember, is how much momentum is on this scythe. Did he slam into the ground there, or was that the scythe that's hitting me and I didn't see it? Because I was too busy screaming. Oh, dear God. So completely surrounded. Hands up. You're surrounded. Oh, dear. Wow. Wow. Okay. 2 times in a row where both of the little ones are just coming at me. Okay. Anyway, this is Galleon, Dreamborn God of heroic arts. I thought it said heretic arts. Game seems really quiet. The game is really quiet because I have it muted. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Would you like to be able to hear the video game? You are only hearing it through my speakers. By the way, sorry, that's actually a really good test. I forgot because I'm playing on computer right now, so I have my Elgato's volume going, but I'm not playing through Elgato right now, am I? Sorry. Let me put that up. It's normally at 6 decibels. So if you want an example of how loud the echo is, why is that? Why are you not letting me type? I believe that was genuinely silent and I was placebo hearing it. There we go. It wasn't letting me type here. Okay, now you should be able to hear it. Well, however loud you just heard it, that's how much my speaker echoes into the microphone. I talk about that sometimes. People swear they can't hear it. Dialogue is really noticeable, I think. Dialogue is really noticeable, but people say they can't hear my speakers echoing through here. I'm not wearing my headphones. I'm too lazy. They're right here, but I am too lazy. I just need... if I can find a way that they stick in my head and I don't have to constantly adjust them in the middle of a stream and they don't hurt my head, I'll fucking wear them. But I'm really sick of constantly throughout a stream having to do this the entire stream of just fixing up my headphones. I'm really sick of it. I'm really sick of it. So, I'm just not wearing them. I'm just deciding I'm not gonna wear them. Now, you could say, Fire, maybe you should get, like, actual proper headphones that go over your head so you don't have to worry about earphones sticking in your ears. Yeah, but then that would get in the way of my wacky antics. So we can't have that. By the way, look at the little spiders putting in the work of doing their little jumps to reach him all the time. Oh my god. I'm once again just focusing on DPSing a fire as opposed to actually doing it properly. Because I'm lazy. And also bad at video games. I should probably focus on dodging primarily during... oh, Jesus. During this phase. And once it starts spinning like that, try to get a scream in there. No, that was actually... there we go. There we go. Easy! Why can't Markov be like that? Treat yourself to not wearing headphones? Am I treating myself to not wearing headphones? Is that what we're doing? Oh, here we go! Gorb, Dreamborn God of the Beyond. Now we're actually going to do it. Ascend! Ascend, ascend, ascend! Now we are actually ascending with Gorb. Ascend with Gorb! the fucking Gorb sounds. Hey! Get back on screen! Get back on screen! Gorb! I'll be honest. Gorb, now that I've done Radiance, now that I've done Radiance, Gorb is just like simpler Radiance. Like it really is. This is just an attack pattern that Radiance has, but simpler. The Great Minds. See, this is the appropriate one because you actually, because Gorb wants us to ascend and we're doing Ascended. I was about to say, are you gonna get to 4 in a row? Not yet. In some ways, Ascended here might be easier. I don't know if it's... oh, Jesus. Okay, well, if you're gonna spawn on top of me, that doesn't make it easier. There we go. Ascended Gorb may actually be easier. Because Ascended Gorb forces you to stay in one spot. And that's actually easy. It's easier to fight Gorb if you do that. Gorb is easier to kill if you stay in one spot. Because all you need to do to actually dodge Gorb's attacks is move very slightly to side or up and down. If you're to the side. So being forced to stay in one spot kind of makes it like, it forces you to be in a spot where, hey, you don't have much movement, room to move, which is how you should be fighting this anyways. Rip Gorb. Once again, Gorb dead. Elder Who, Dreamborn god of travelers and sages. I thought there was going to be a lot less here than I thought. I thought we were like just over halfway through, but we are not. Back here. Is anything... Normally for all these ghost ones, the difference is the floor's different. Is there any... Is there actually differences in this one? Who, do you actually have anything different? Not so far. All of the ghost ones. Well, I guess Galleon wasn't either. I was about to say, so far all the ghost ones, the difference has been the platform. I don't know why I thought I could walk out of the way of that. I very much could. Maybe it's faster? Maybe the slams are faster? Did you see that reaction time though on the dodge? Holy shit. Having the dodge through dash here definitely makes this a hell of a lot easier. having the shadow dash here definitely fucking helps a lot. Oh god. Get back here. Get back, you son of a bitch! Teleporting. Bitch! Fortunately, all the ghosts like hanging out above you, which means that they're very susceptible to screaming at them. Unless they're Markov, because Markov's so kind. Easy! Okay, never mind. Yeah, never mind. It was just Markov who was an asshole. I swear the way these Ascended fights have gone, almost all of the Ascended fights are like slightly harder than their original ones, but I'm so much more powerful now that I wipe the floor with them. And then there's a couple who just decimate the shit out of me repeatedly. Because of the way they've been adjusted, and it just fucking ruins me. Umu being a big one, obviously Markov, because we still haven't done that. I feel like there was another one. I can't remember what other one was really fucking me over last time. Oh! Look in front of us! Are there statues of enemies as we walk around? Or is that just... Or is that a... Oh yeah, there is too! There's little ones in the foregrounds of just the basic enemies. They're not worthy of fighting though. Oh, I didn't notice that last time. Little basic enemies do have their own pylons, but they're not gods. Anything like twice the original health, you deal more than twice the original damage. Well, especially at this point. Hey, there's little basic enemies in front. That's really adorable. So everything gets represented in Godheim in some capacity. Oh, there's the big one. So I'm curious what other ones are down here. Oh god, I forgot that I haven't done year. Oh yeah, okay, and down here they're in the backgrounds. When it lights up this statue here, you can see some in the background here. Yeah, okay, yeah, the front, yeah. So down in the lower area, there's some spots in the background that have things. Hey, look at them all in the back. And then on the top, they're in the foreground. That's really adorable. That's adorable as shit. So, okay, looking at this, the main ones that we haven't done are like the dream ones. Or some of the refights are the ones that I haven't done yet. Okay, so I do have a lot of those. All Alanus represented in the Hall of the Gods. Everyone's a god. Everyone here, every single character in the game has indeed become as gods. So this one here, this is interesting. Because I've not beaten this boss yet. I have not beaten this boss yet. This is Oro and Mato. This was the end of the Pantheon. I didn't clear that Pantheon, but fighting it at all has shown it to appear here. So that gives us the option to actually test out this fight when we haven't done it. Because of that, I'll probably save it. I'll probably save this for last before we do the Pantheon. We'll probably save it for then, so I can get the experience of fighting it and then do the Pantheon. Anyway, we have Grim here. Now, we do have two versions of Grim. We do have two versions of Grim. So, we'll start with normal Grim Ascended. And then we'll probably go back to Markov. See how that goes. Hello, friend. I grab. Oh, yes. You're just starting with that shit, huh? Okay. I'll be honest, I don't remember the difference between the two versions of Grim. I don't remember the difference between the two versions of Grim. Now the game is loud. Oh, God. I'm now remembering part of what I did for Grim. Part of me is now remembering part of how I did the Grim fight. I put attack on a trigger, so I could charge attacks easier. That is part of how I fought Grim. Because I'd get attacks like this, and then just dash. I think Nightmare Grim is just, like, tuned up a lot. Oh, and flame trails on the back of some of those attacks. Yeah, like, the trail leading behind on a lot of those dashes. Spider disrespect is real. Hey, we did it before, we're gonna do it again. It's how it went before. Okay, we go. If I was really ballsy during this phase, I could stand under him and scream, but... There's oh god. A lot of attacks happening, that's it. I'm now here again, and I'm remembering how fucking good this fight is. I'm now remembering how fucking good this fight is. This fight is amazing. This fight was incredible. Holy shit. I do think of the amount of stuff that I've done in this game, I think I do stand by the idea that Grim is the best fight in the game. A very personal bias of that, in terms of Grim is the type of fight that I both enjoy and am good at. So it is that. In terms of just a boss with a very strict there we go. A boss with a very strict repeatable pattern that you just have to learn the tells and work out how to dodge it. There's no improvisation for Grim. There's nothing that you have to, like, work out on the fly. Everything is, see this, react this way. You can make up your own different ways of reacting, but it's the same thing with the whole fight. But it's also just incredibly strict movement and timing to do those reactions, and that's just where my skills lie in a game like this. It's a call and response fight. Game devs in the chat with their game dev words. Where I call, I can't remember more fire trials and worse bat spawns and one new attack. It's enough to make it much harder. I mean, I did do Nightmare King Grim with so little upgrades. I didn't have the invulnerable dash. I didn't have any upgraded spells. I didn't have every spell. And obviously I didn't have a nail upgrade, but I did that. I think you like Grim for similar reasons why you like Rhythm Heaven. Hey, you're working it out. You're working it out. We're solving this. We're solving this. It's also why I like certain character action games. You'll notice that my favorite action games are usually ones that have a very similar idea to it as well. We said it, you're a god gamer. Yeah, the hindsight of Nightmare King Grim is very funny. It is very funny. I'm going to save the Nightmare one because, yeah. Can't forget. Punch Out. Punch Out's a big one. Part of the Hollow Knight fandom likes that title. That one little spider there is fucking going for it. I do not want to do Zart. I'm just going to skip that for the time being. I do not want to do Zart. I would very much appreciate not doing Zart at any point soon. But yeah, Punch Out is a big one. Final Fantasy VII Remake isn't... Final Fantasy VII Remake is similar in certain aspects, but it's that thing that you said, call and response, but less about strict patterns, and more so about strategizing and planning and management, which is also why I love Wonderful 101 so much. Wonderful 101 and FF7 Remake are very similar. Cue everyone getting mad at me for suggesting that. But they're very similar in the sense that reacting to what happens in the fight is part of it, but also managing your resources to execute on certain plans when you have the opportunity to do so, when certain things happen, is a big part of that. For someone who loves action games, there's a very specific criteria of the type. You know what? Actually, no. We're not going to start with this one. I am not going to start with this one, the Dream. I'm not going to start with this Dream version. Because, dear God, absolutely... no, thank you. We'll wait a bit longer for that one. We'll wait a bit longer for this one. Because I didn't do... I haven't done the Dream version of this legit... normally. That's kind of gaming preference analysis. It's so fun for me. You can very much look at the action games that I enjoy and work out what my thing is. I imagine Final Fantasy 14 is probably part of that as well, in terms of why I enjoy the combat in that. Monster Hunter is meant to be that, but I'm bad at Monster Hunter. But Monster Hunter is very much a learn the monster and learn how to react to it. But I'm just, I'm much worse at Monster Hunter compared to other action games. Oh my god. So I'm having fights like this where I'm just focusing on trying to get damage in, instead of wait for an attack and punish. See attack, punish attack. I'm just focusing on attacking all the time and trying to move out of the way haphazardly when I'm when opportunity, like when an attack happens. But I should just focus on punishing. Ah! Ah! I did the scream and I hit myself. I think I knocked it into me when I did that. But I like the cheese. I guarantee the Ascended version of this fight is just going to be cheese-proof, and that's going to be the problem. It's going to be cheese-proof. That's going to be its entire gimmick. Yeah, it's why, like, it's not that I don't like the game. In fact, specifically 5, I absolutely fucking adore. And I do really like all the other ones. But it's like, as much as I like Devil May Cry, it would never be, that type of action game would never be my favorite type of character action game. Because so much of Devil May Cry 5 is about, like, learning combos and styling on enemies. It's about that improvisation aspect of finding ways to style on enemies, more than learning what the enemy does and responding in kind. Like, Devil May Cry can get really hard and require you to be good at, like, seeing what an enemy does and then responding in kind and stuff like that. Devil May Cry can really push you in that regard as well. But a lot of it is just, like, work out your own way to style on enemies and stuff like that. And then that's just not as, like, intuitively what I want from a game. Bloodborne. Bloodborne is a big example of liking Bloodborne for that exact thing of work out an enemy's movement patterns and respond in kind and work out how to do it. With Bloodborne being probably one of the tightest I've ever played when it comes to that concept. Bloodborne pushes Bloodborne pushes how strict that reaction has to be in terms of precision and timing to a limit that not a ton of other games that I've personally played do. Ah, Jesus. Oh, I tried to dash through you, but I dashed it quickly afterwards. Beforehand. Whoops. Hornet giving me the business here. I don't think this... it doesn't feel like this fight's changed compared to when we fought at Kingdom's Edge. I think it's just primarily the extra damage. Oh, okay, I thought you were going to do a dive attack. So, I mean, part of it is also just because I'm taking 2 hits on everything, I'm not even bothering to heal. I'm not bothering to heal. It's just, that's how much health I have. I just gotta not get hit that many times throughout the fight. Because I have to heal twice to recover from 1 hit, which requires a lot of time and a lot of magic, so I'm just not bothering. I will not beat the fight by trying to brute force heal my way through it, because doing that would require so much extra time and energy to get the heals in that I could use that to just kill the boss before I get the chance to get hit again from what I've healed. So it's just not worth it. Like, when you're getting hit for ones, it's fine. But when you're getting hit for twos, just, I'm not even bothering. Oh, Jesus. Oh, fuck. I'm trying to work out what she's doing it sometimes, and she's just wandering around, and I'm just like, I'm not sure what your plan is. Are you gonna dive at me? Are you gonna jump at me? Where am I? There I am. I straight up couldn't find myself for a second there. I'm looking around on the screen going, where the fuck did I end up? There I am. There I am. Right, it's gonna take 3 streams just to go through this hole. Just the hole is gonna take like 3 streams. Oh, Jesus. I dashed through it. Almost got hit on the return. So all of this is just punishment for the fact that I first tried Hornet back at the beginning of the game. All of this is punishment for doing that. She's just really mad at me for doing that. Haha. With just the noises that she makes and what her what her moveset is, I totally get why people are so excited for a game where you play as her. I get it. I get it so much. I get why people are just like, Silk Song! I want to play as Hornet! Oh god. Makes a lot of sense to me that people are absolutely stoked for that. Which I am as well, but I have no idea if I'm going to play it on release. To be fair, we don't know when release is either. The game's been perpetually delayed, so... Did I get hit from that? There was an extra sound that I couldn't tell if that was a big hit happening to her or that I got hit from it as well. I had no idea how much health I had. Oh god, oh god. See, fights like this, you gotta learn how to get really good at the particular skill of barely looking at your own character and just looking at who you're fighting to work out what they're doing. Trust your instincts, trust you know where you're going to end up based on your movements, and just watch the enemy so you know what to do. Just trust your instincts that you know where you're going to be. Which is not an easy thing to do, but I'm trying my best. Maybe that's what that sound was. Maybe I hit her when she was in parachutes. Maybe it was that. Oh, Jesus! That one spawned on me. Hey, there we go! There we go. There we go. It's not Tilk. No one should drink Tilk. That was a bad idea. Did I mention that the Tilk ruins that cup permanently? The cup that I made the Tilk in, I could never clean it. No matter how much I, like, scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed and hot watered and detergents repeatedly over and over and over again, I could not get all of the Tilk residue out of that cup. It ruined the cup permanently. I threw it out. I don't know if I mentioned that. I did mention that? Okay. I couldn't remember if I did or not. It's not Tilk, but I'm drinking Earl Grey tea. Citrus flavors are just forever associated with these streams in my mind. I mean, I'm drinking Mother, which don't point out that I was also drinking this on yesterday's stream. I've been really tired all week. This isn't citrus. This is poison. So it's a little different. Don't worry, it's decaf. This is very much not decaf. It literally says high caffeine content on there. How many milligrams of caffeine are in this? 160. So someone will release as soon as you finish your backlog of games to play. It's perfectly timed. My light flickering again? God damn it, it is. I don't know whether it's just the light I keep accidentally hitting it onto a certain level. Oh, it's really painful. Sorry. I think my ring light's on the way out. Last number of times that I've been streaming, it gets to a point where it just starts flickering. It's only the slightest flicker, but my eyes are really sensitive to that shit. So the moment it starts, like, if I feel a certain pain in my eyes while streaming, I'm just like, the light's flickering, isn't it? And then I look at it, and it's like, oh yeah, it is. It's only at, like, there's a certain range. It has like a dial to turn on the ring light. There's a certain range that I can set it onto that it will flicker. And apparently I just keep accidentally putting it onto that exact range every time I stream. I want a ring light that has buttons to do its settings for. So I can just go, this is what I like my lighting for the ring light for my stream. I can set it to that button every time I turn it on. As opposed to having a da that has got a feel and just go, is that the right amount? I don't know. Poison can be citrus sometimes. That's true. Tilk proved that. Tilk very much proved that. I mean, my big things for Silksong, in terms of playing it on release, there's two aspects of whether I do or don't want to play it on release. Tilk did prove that. The first aspect is, if they're going to bring back in the muffle, if they're going to be arseholes and bring back in the muffling on hit, then I need for someone to introduce the Never Muffle mod into Silksong. So that immediately stops from being played on day one at the bare minimum. The second is, if they're going to release DLC for Silksong again, do I want to wait until all the DLC comes out for Silksong? Because if the DLC is done the way that this game's done its DLC, obviously what we're doing now is DLC for Godhome, but Godhome is very much like, this makes sense to do at the very end of the game, and that's what we're doing right now, so it makes a lot of sense. But the other DLCs that we've had have been very well integrated into just the core experience, that I couldn't even tell a lot of it was DLC while playing through the game. Like the entire Nightmare King Grim thing. So part of me is just, do I want to wait until they say, here's some DLC, and then they've done the DLC? So I can experience the DLC as just part of the game and not know what it is and then just come across it all naturally, as opposed to play the game when it comes out, in however many months go in and just do the DLC. And there's none of that finding and discovering that DLC just naturally as part of the rest of the game. So part of me also kind of want to wait to play Silksong until that. Because I did really like the way that this game does its DLC with how well integrated into the game it is. Again, Godhome clearly feels like a whole separate, this is a clearly endgame DLC thing. But even the way that you find Godhome feels like that this could just be part of the base game and it's just intended to be an endgame challenge. It's not like some games have the obvious, here is the DLC! Welcome to the DLC zone! Come on in and enter in to the DLC! And that's fine for some games, but for a game that's a Metroidvania, I feel like they've done a really good job of just plopping in things that are related to the DLC around the map, that as a new player, you can just come across and not even realize what it is. Which is what happened, like, when we found Godhome, like, finding Godhome when we found it in the game, I didn't realize it was a DLC. I didn't realize it was this big major endgame challenge thing. I just found a coffin and dream nailed the body in the coffin. And then, oh, here's this. And then it was, once we were inside, it was clear that it was that. So part of me wants to wait on Silksong for a while, just for its DLC. But I am very much excited for it. By the way, Hornet's done. Hornet's done. So we've done that. So yeah, okay. Still you. Just making sure we've done all the doubles. We still haven't unlocked this. That's a good point. Part of me really hopes Silksong will have that sort of DLC as well, since it worked so well for Hollow Knight. Some games like melds in their DLC really effectively into the base game, and then some games it is very much an obvious side mode, or thing like that, which is fine. But especially because this game like has so much focus on doing its exploration so well. How well integrated the DLC is into the game that it doesn't even feel like DLC. It just feels like part of the game and what it was always like. I kind of want to wait for that for Silksong. We still don't have the second one of this. We still don't have the second one of that, which is, I can't tell if that is like, do we go and unlock it, or is it going to be like something that's part of like the Pantheon? Because you unlock other fights in the Pantheon. Because Oro and Motto upstairs, we unlocked those in a Pantheon. So like, could this be Pantheon as well? No idea. No idea. Oh dear God, this. Actually, Nosk has that too. Nosk also has that, where there's another version of it. Alright, well here we go. Here's an actual proper dream fight. Not just upgraded fight, but proper dream fight. Lost Kin, Lost God of the Abyss. I mean, these were just ideas they had but didn't have time to put in. That does, the way that it feels, with how it is in this game, that makes a lot of sense. A lot of it does feel like that. Okay, I remember one aspect of this dream fight that made this a fucking nightmare. There's one specific attack that I remember that made this a nightmare. Which I'm concerned that I haven't seen yet. I forgot I have the faster charge attacks. I should do that on the down things. That's the attack. That's the one. That's the one. I think that's the one that killed me the most last time. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. I thought my dash would be longer. It was not. Ah, Jesus. With Silksong, I'm not sure that's possible. Again, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. This is a dream. This original one was a dream fight. Okay, I was about to say, the original one was a dream fight that was doing 2 hearts, I'm pretty sure. Is the Ascended version going to do more damage? Seemingly not. Wait, am I on Ascended? Did I choose Ascended? Did people make sure I don't actually, did I choose Ascended? Let me die and actually check. Because I'm now double guessing myself that I didn't actually choose Ascended, I just chose Attuned. Let me double check. Let me double check. No, I'm on Ascended. No, I'm on Ascended. Okay. I was just half expecting because the dream fights were already doing 2 damage in the game, so I figured they may have made these do 3. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Ow. It is noticeable, and I guess it does make sense. The final bosses aren't here. The final bosses haven't been in the hall. Which I guess I guess that does, like, it does make sense because they're like, you can't save the game in a state where they've been beaten, kind of thing. The game knows that you've beaten them and stuff like that, but the world doesn't exist in a state where you've beaten them. So from like that perspective, it makes sense that Hollow Knight and what's his name, Radiance, aren't here. I think everything else is. Pretty sure everything else is. But just not them. Ah! God damn it! Ah, fuck. That was just me being bad. I feel like part of the thing here is that I should not move unless I know what it's doing. Because it can move in such it can move long or short distances with the same type of attack. So if I should only try to move out of its way while it's attacking. Like while it's just standing there not doing anything, I shouldn't be moving too much. Because I can try to move, like jump out of the way or anything. And then it's, oh my god. And then it starts trying to do something, and I'm just like, oh, I can't get out of the way because I've committed to this, and it's moving right where I am. So, what happened there is my brain went to charge a sneeze. I was just like, oh, a down thing. Instead of charging up a nail attack, I'll charge up a sneeze attack. And then I died, and I realized, oh, no, charging a sneeze attack is the heal button. Oh, right, that's what that is. Oh my god. See, this is what I mean. I jumped without you moving, and then you jumped directly to where I was. That's what I mean. If I go to preempt this motherfucker can't be preempted. You only know what it's doing once it starts doing it. Might be a wise idea to try and always change sides when it does something. Like, see what it's doing and then always change sides. Primarily for the perspective of the spiders. If I switch over between its sides, basically every time it attacks, running past it will let the spiders attack, and then I can get in my hits. Basically every time it does something. See where it's going, find out a way to try to get past it. Because then the spiders can hit. Or at least as much as we can. I gotta say, the spiders are putting in the work on getting rid of the little ghosts. Spiders are putting in the work on that front. Oh, fuck, you bastard. That's what I mean. I waited too long, and I was just like, it finished doing its movement. So I went to dash past it because it finished moving. But then it immediately backstepped. The only time that it's safe to move around this thing is while it's currently moving. Because it can move whenever the fuck it feels like and change how it moves all the time. Like, it's still always reactable, but it's only reactable while it's in the middle of doing something. When it's in a neutral state, it's getting ready to do anything. So you gotta be careful. See? Oh, fuck. Yeah, if I stay close to it, ow. If it does the jump charge, I could scream at it. If I'm careful. Oh my god, fuck. Now I'm just being slow. Sneeze is also super effective here. Because it's always knocking it back further away from you. Ah, fuck! I went to sneeze while it was dashing. I thought I was out of the range of it. I don't know why I thought that. Other than night making room confirmed. Nope. Go past me. Thank you. This is very fun. This is another really good fight. It keeps you on your toes, because you've just got to... I'm now realizing, no idea if this is intentional. No idea if this is intentional, or if I'm reading way too much into the game. But... for a fight that's basically another one of you, the safest way to combat it is to basically be the clone of the clone fight. Only attack and only move when it does its own attacks and own movements. If you try to copy his movements, that's the easiest way to punish him. Which, again, maybe I'm reading way too much into it for this, but I do find that kind of funny for a clone fight, that copying it is actually relatively safe. Ah, fuck. Yeah, I'm probably reading too much into it. Probably reading too much into it. But I like the idea. But how do people play this game without Weaver Song? Seriously. Oh, sick parries. You won the trade though. Hey, there we go. Never thought of it this way. I'm probably reading too much into it. But the nature of its movements, because when it's neutral, it can do literally anything. And it can change how much it does any of the things that it can do. While it's standing still, it's never safe to try and to expect to know what it's going to do. So if you only take actions while it's taking actions, that's the safest way to fight it. Again, I'm probably reading too much into it, and I'm probably talking out my ass. Team Cherry is probably watching this right now, and, well, other than the fact that I called them scam artists at the beginning of the game because of the muffling, outside of that, they're probably just like, wow, what an asshole. For various other reasons. Okay. Enraged Guardian. I do not remember the difference between those two versions of the fights, which I'm pretty sure I also said when we last did this. Ow. Is it? Well, that's definitely different. Oh, you son of a bitch. They've made the walls crystals. They've made the walls crystals so you can't wall jump on this fight. Oh, these bastards. That is so funny. Also, either I got hit a lot or it does like 3 hearts damage. Okay, I'm not. Oh god, you asshole. Don't jump while you're doing... Do lasers and then jump. No, don't do lasers then jump. Do sky lasers, then do your own lasers. Don't be a prick. Oh, Jesus. I'm just standing point blank at its face. It's going... Ptah! Wait, it was doing 4 damage per hit? Oh, Jesus, no wonder. Double. Okay, yeah, no fucking wonder. Okay, so the other Dream fights didn't have it, but this one does. This one gets that. God damn, wow, okay. Motherfucker's damage output is matching fucking, the White Defender refights. I think it's faster than that at this point. This Guardian sure is enraged. Guardian is mad pissed. Bro, it's a bench! Calm down! Bro, it's a bench! Yes, this fight is very much just do it perfect. Well, no, on my health, I have 3 hits. Fortunately, I do have the spiders. The spiders are definitely gonna make this easier. You know, in some ways, forcing me off the wall is kind of forcing its attacks to always... Because I'm just standing point blank in its face. Ow. All of its lasers are just aiming at the ground. And are just as simple as double jumping over them. I committed too much. So I'm not having the thing of I'm bouncing on the walls and he's firing fucking everywhere. Fight forcing him into a position where it's easier to dodge. No, he's doing a lot of stuff, so it's still not easy. Ah, fuck. Oh my god, from this guy. Yeah, I can kind of just stand here, can't I? Ah, that's a dangerous one. Oh, no! No! I wasn't expecting the world's smallest jump. Okay, I remember during that fight that this gives you invuln on the down dive, and that was actually super simple. I remember the ground pound gives you invuln, and that just ruins the fight. That just fucking ruins that just tears you apart. I never actually thought about it, but why does he still care about the bench after getting tanked? Some characters, even after getting tanked, are still very, very focused on like the one part of life that they cared about. For this dude, it's that one fucking bench. For this dude, it's the bench. Oh god, oh god. I do not want to do this. This is one that I just don't want to do. I just do not want to do that one. I will save that for a second. I just don't want to do that one at all. How many doubles are up here? Oh, there is this one. Extremely fair. We will do it. But dear God, no. All right. This one does make me nervous, I'm not gonna lie. Does anyone remember how many attempts, like, this dream version of this fight, was this one that I struggled on or not? I straight up do not remember. I do not remember if I struggled on this dream fight when we first did it. We kind of did it back to back with the original, so I can't remember if a lot of that time was, like, how much time was spent between the two versions of the fight. I think we did it on, I think it was the same stream. I literally think, because we did this so late, that by, like, we were walking past it again, and then it appeared. Okay. I need to actually dash to that. I'm not finding a space that's just safe to stand in for that. And other than just being harder, better, faster, stronger, I don't actually remember the difference between dream and non-dream versions of this fight. I mean, you still do that attack on the dream version, so... Ah, you... The fake out's maybe a dream thing, I don't remember. Oh, you son of a... You son of a cunt! Ah, you're a prick. Oh my god! Asshole. Go away. Shout out to the babies. Shout out to the babies putting in the fucking work, getting in the soul, getting in the damage. Babies putting in the energy. It is very funny to go through so much of the game not finding nail upgrades. Finally finding nail upgrades, and that's when we start doing boss fights with increased health, the same fights but with increased health pools. So it's really, it doesn't feel that fucking different compared to when we did it before, in terms of how much I have to hit the motherfuckers to kill them. It's basically the same shit. I thought you were just gonna attack me again? Didn't think you were going to slowly run past me like you were King K. Rool on the Gangplank Galleon. Which, to be fair, this motherfucker is King K. Rool. Has a fake out death, too. God, the fucking K. Rool announcement trailer for Smash, as a massive Donkey Kong Country fucking fan, like, grew up playing those games in my fucking childhood, all that shit. God damn it, that K. Rool trailer announcement for Smash was just fucking everything I ever could have wanted. The amount of little details about just, like, classic Donkey Kong Country shit in that was so tasty. Because, like, because, like, K. Rool's whole thing in Donkey Kong Country trilogy is, like, part of his gimmick is just faking you out constantly. Every single game, he has a fake out moment of, like, you think you've defeated him, but something's happening. Donkey Kong Country 1, he pretends to be dead, the credits kick in, and then he gets back up and keeps the fight going. And then in Donkey Kong Country 2, you go to fight him at one point, and then just straight up, the boss isn't there, and secretly, like, you get to the end of the final world, and you're about to fight him, and he just runs away, and you don't fight him, and there's another world before you actually fight him. And then in Donkey Kong Country 3, he fakes you out by pretending to not be the villain, and then surprise, he's there. So having both the, like, they have the fake out of, oh, King Dedede is pretending to be K. Rool, and that he's actually there, was, like, amazing. And then even at the end of it, they have a moment where Diddy and DK are just cheering on, like, they've beaten K. Rool, and he's lying on the ground, and he crawls off the screen and comes back and stomps on them. And it's just like, ah, you get it! And his moveset is just basically what I like. He's always been my dream character for Smash since playing Melee. And I had, like, an idea of, oh, this is what his moveset could be. He could have, like, the gun on B and shoot, like, cannonballs at you. Or, like, suck you up into it. Or throw the barrels at you. He could have the crown toss on his side B from, like, Donkey Kong Country 1. And then he could have, like, the jetpack from Donkey Kong Country 3 as his up B. And then, like, all of that happened. And then he gets the boxing glove from 64 to punch you with. And it's like, oh my god. Like, it's just everything about the way he was put into the game was, like, exactly what I had always wanted ever since I dreamt about him. And it's like, the devs knew that was a lot of people who wanted K. Rool, and then they gave us exactly what we wanted, and it was fantastic. I'll be honest, I have no idea what to do in this fight. I'm feeling like I'm not having chances to attack, which I'm pretty sure is what was happening last time I did this. I'll have to read about the Crystal Guardian after I die on this attempt. I'm half wondering if the way that I'm gonna beat this is just by surviving long enough that my baby's killing him. I feel like my baby's gonna kill him before I do anything. Well, the Crystal Guardian was a dedicated miner of the crystal. It only stopped when it grew too tired to keep mining. The one thing that it is focused on beyond the infection is, in fact, just to get some goddamn rest. I feel like those infected by Tang should unionize. I have no idea what to do for this. It clearly looks like there's a way to get an opportunity into attack, and I'm just really bad at doing it every single time. I'm not, like, there's an opportunity there to attack, and I've just not been able to do it once. Yeah, I'm just trying to work out good attack opportunities for this motherfucker. Which is part of the point, because he teleports all over the fucking place. So I need to find a spot where it's safe to just scream as he goes past. Because the amount of damage that itself will do is, pussy counting. It's, like, so good. Sometimes I say things without thinking about what I'm actually going to say. And then the words just come out of my face, and I'm just like, what the fuck was that? Sorry, what did you say? Ah, Jesus. I thought you were shooting me again! Similarly, hides for Banjo-Kazooie, funnily enough, given the trailer, I may have actually cried during that announcement. I mean, I cried during an announcement. It was Sora. I cried at Sora. I'm not even the world's biggest Kingdom Hearts fan. I'm obviously a Kingdom Hearts fan. It's the foundation of my channel, which is very funny considering how far I've fallen behind ever since Kingdom Hearts 3. But I cried at Sora. Primarily just because it seemed so fucking impossible for it to happen. And I knew that it was like something that people really desperately wanted. It made me so happy that all of that stuff that I'd seen over the years and the idea that I had myself about Sora in Smash were like completely 100% validated during that final thing. Because I had said like the entire time of the DLC coming out for Ultimate that I'm just like, even outside of me being a Kingdom Hearts fan, I hope Sora gets put into the game. Not even just for me, but because Sora is the most wanted character. And which some people weren't sure of, and I'm just like, if you have a look at opinion polls, like ever since the fucking ballot back in 4, like, regardless of region, Sora wins basically all of them. Like, he does. Outside of, like, sometimes Goku, but even then, Sora was winning, like, every single, like, opinion poll that different websites were running of who do you want to see in Smash. And it was just fucking constant. And, like, yeah, they made him the final character, and they made such a big, like, final feeling trailer about him, and then just verified that. It's just like, yeah, no, out of every single character, he won the fucking ballot. He won the Smash 4 ballot. It was just not possible at the time to actually put him into the game. So that's why we went for Bayonetta. And then they confirmed it. It was just like, yeah, no, this has been happening since then. Alright, I should play that game at some point. Kingdom Hearts or Smash Ultimate? I did get a Switch and just forgot about it because I started speedrunning some French point-and-click game. Smash Ultimate is one of those, like, it's hard to even, like, it's hard to even at this point talk about Smash as a game, I find. Just because Smash was such, like, a cultural event in gaming. Like, I think it's pretty easy to say that we'll never get anything like Smash ever again. I just don't think it can happen. Like, I've always liked Smash Bros. Since Melee, and I've always enjoyed it. I've been terrible at it the entire time. And I've not put the most amount of hours into Ultimate out of all of them, but that's just because I don't have people to play it with. I'm not going to play Smash online, especially living in Australia. And I'm too bad at it to do that. But I'm past the point in my life where I'm around people a lot who I'd play with it in person. I played a shit ton of Brawl and a decent amount of Smash 4 in person with people because I was around family and friends who liked playing it. But by the time Ultimate's released, I wasn't around those people as much in person to play it with and stuff like that. So it's not the one I've put the most hours into. That's just because of the way that my life has gone and everything like that. But it's just, what a cultural event Smash Ultimate was for gaming. The speculation over time of seeing the characters, the fact that like every time a new DLC character was put into the game, other than like Byleth, it was just like this massive holy shit moment that like so many people had. Something like fucking Minecraft Steve literally breaking Twitter because people were just freaking out that much. Seeing how people reacted to Hero and Banjo being announced at that E3 and just being like, this is just the miracle game. This is just the game designed to make dreams come true. Seeing stuff like Terry Bogard, obviously a personal bias for that, and just how much love and adoration that had. Seeing fucking Sephiroth being put into the game, just blowing people's minds. Seeing how many people cried tears at seeing Sora being put into the game and stuff like that. It's just like, you're never gonna get anything like that ever again in games. How do I attack this prick? I have no idea. I'm getting in the most chippest of chip damage this entire fight because I just cannot work out how to fucking smack this prick in the face. I just cannot work out a safe time to actually fucking hit him in the face. It really was. Even after the first trailer for it, I knew I was going to have at some point that it was special. I mean, the moment that it started, like the initial trailer of revealing Inklings in the game, like that was cool as shit. But that first trailer of Everyone Is Here, like, that trailer doesn't have any of the extra special CG moments that any of the other trailers for Smash Ultimate have. It's all in-game footage. But that trailer is so perfectly paced, so perfectly timed. The music wells up at the right moments. You get, like, your little interstitial, just like, here's your basic characters that are coming back. Oh, here's some other characters that are like, oh, shit! Oh, Ryu's coming back. Nice. And you get like a couple little surprises of just like, yo, they're coming back for this one? Nice. And then it's just like, oh, Cloud's coming back. Okay. If there was anyone who wasn't going to come back, it would be a it would be the Square Enix character who's like not even on a fucking Sony console, a Nintendo console. And it's like, okay. And then Snake appears, which is just like, oh my god, fucking Snake is back. And then it comes up, everyone is here. And then the trailer just keeps going. Every fucking character, every version of Link, every fucking person, the music swells up, and it's just like, yeah, that trailer blew fucking people's minds when it came out. It was not like, that's a big part of Smash Ultimate. Like, obviously the announcements were exciting as hell. The announcements of which characters got put into Smash were exciting as hell, but fuck, though. Like, if you want to look, like, if you're making a game, and you want to make announcement trailers for your game, you've got to look at the Smash Ultimate trailers. They're so perfectly designed to get people as excited as possible. I cannot work out where it's safe to scream on this motherfucker during that. It feels like the entire floor is dangerous at some point. I don't have the time to stand there and scream. This motherfucker is proving an issue in a second. I haven't even gotten to the hard part yet. I haven't even gotten to the hard part. Ah. Let's go back to watch people's reactions to character reveals. Just makes me feel so good. Yeah, absolutely. Snake. Yeah. Yeah. The fact that they put the Everyone Is Here after Snake, like, again, they know what they're fucking doing. They know. They went into so much of Ultimate knowing what people's expectations and hopes were. And they played on that stuff so fucking well to blow people's minds in the best way. Because people who are, like, watching reveal trailers of Smash Ultimate and keeping up with the characters, like, a character coming back from the direct previous game is not that unheard of. Some characters haven't been introduced for a while, but they're Nintendo characters, so them coming back is cool, like Pichu, or Wolf and stuff like that. But having a third-party character that showed up in one game and didn't come back for the next one, yeah, they know that that's going to be the one that blows people's minds for a returning cast. So yeah, after Snake is there, it's just a, you know what, fuck it. Fuck it. You know that Snake's here and that this shit is wild, so fuck it. Everyone, let's just tell you, everyone is here. And even though you know everyone is here, it is still exciting to see the rest of the characters introduced into that. What I love about watching people see the trailers, how overwhelming that hype is once the everyone drops. Yeah, people see that everyone is here, and it's just a, oh my god. And it's so funny because, like, in retrospect, holy crap, to start, like, do the announcements for the DLC get even more ridiculous than Everyone Is Here? Like, Everyone Is Here is a wild moment that made people shit their pants when it happened, and it only went up from there with fucking, like, Joker is in the game. Banjo and Kazooie. Fucking Minecraft is in the game. Like, Sora gets in. Like, oh my god. I've seen people exclaim shouting into their mics, ice climbers. Yes, yeah, shit like that. Yeah. Again, like, if you want to get into making trailers for games, genuinely looking at the Smash Ultimate trailers is such a great teaching tool because they're so perfectly made. They are like as much as a video game trailer ad can be, Smash Ultimate trailers are fucking works of art. They really are. I don't think it's exaggerating to say that. For what their purpose is to do, which is to blow some fucking minds, they are absolute perfection. Not all of them are perfect, but there's so many of them that are just fucking wild. Something makes them shout, everyone leaves them speechless, yeah. Oh god. Which is level hype that no one has ever heard the name Ice Climbers before. No one has ever hyped themselves over the name Ice Climbers before. Simply, Batdivision didn't try to get Crash and Spyro in, such a missed opportunity. I think with the characters that we did get, other than Byleth, I don't think any of them were, like, a bad choice. As someone who didn't play Fire Emblem Three Houses at the time, I was confused why Byleth got into the game. And as someone who has now not only played Fire Emblem Three Houses, though only one route, but as someone who has played it and now considers it among their favorite RPGs, and has just permanent terminal brain rot over Edolith, I don't get why Byleth's in Smash Ultimate. Am I not getting them? I'm just baffled Activision was not interested. Considering how many companies were interested in getting their character, like fucking Square put Sephiroth, like Square let Sephiroth in. Cloud was barely allowed in Smash 4. Cloud didn't get English voice acting and got 2 songs. Like, Cloud was barely in Smash 4, and then they add in Sephiroth, and it's just like, yeah, you get another stage, you get like 10 songs. We're gonna like upgrade Cloud as part of this and give Cloud a new final Smash for this shit. I'm surprised if Activision was interested and got rejected. we don't want to deal with them. Seeing people's, not a ton of people have it because it was at the Game Awards, but it being at the Game Awards is what made it people lose their mind so much. But seeing people lose their mind over fucking Joker is still wild as shit. Might have woken up too late. Seeing people lose their mind at Joker at the Game Awards announcement is still very funny. Because that trailer doesn't let you know that it's Smash to start with. It starts by saying this is Persona. And then the drop is that it's fucking Smash. And it's the first DLC character for Ultimate. The amount of, like, I mean, the biggest one that I've seen is, like, obviously Maximilian and Dudes. They are, like, but I've seen so many other people where the reaction is the same. The moment that envelope flips and they see the Smash logo on there, it's just silence. It's just sheer silence for just absolute and utter disbelief of, I don't know how to react to this information. This is so unbelievable, I don't know how to react to this. It's very funny. This fight is fucking kicking my ass, by the way. I am trying to pay a lot of, I know we're talking about Smash a lot for this, but I am paying attention to this, or at least I fucking think I am. The issue is I don't know when to attack. I feel like anytime I try to go, I'm going to attack you now, I'm getting hit for it. Ah, fuck. I tried to heal. This had to me that one of the crossovers actual PlayStation mascots was a horrible PS move game. There's been, I mean, the first Crash and Spyro crossover were like shithouse minigame collections on the Game Boy Advance. You ever think about the first time that Crash and Spyro were in a game together and had a crossover was fucking Crash and Spyro Fusion? Like, goddamn. And it's really funny now because, like, the main way that you can play Crash and Spyro next to each other is fucking Skylanders. And now the next crossover that Crash and Spyro have where they play alongside each other is fucking Skylanders. Again, where Spyro barely looks like Spyro and Crash has the fucking... The curse of being laden with the fucking animated version of Crash. But they also spend a while being a toy mascot. See, the thing is, I can't talk that mad shit about Skylanders because I do have fond memories of Skylanders. Because the first 3 Skylanders games I played quite a lot of. Because the big thing for playing Skylanders, the first 3 at least, for me was those games came out at the perfect age of my brother being young enough that he would both, like, old enough that he would play video games and get into video games. But also young enough that he would play with the Skylanders toys outside of the game. And just, like, play with them like they were normal toys. So my brother was at the perfect age for that. So it was, like, a really cool, like, thing that we could do together where I'm just like, I like video games, and I can play that alongside you. And, like, I could buy a bunch of Skylanders for the game, and they would be, like, a thing that my brother could play with, and then we could play in the game. So I didn't feel like, oh, I'm spending this much money to play a video game that is just, like, a very, very basic beat-em-up. Because I was also just, like, buying my brother cool things to play with. By the time, like, because it was Spyro's Adventure, Giants, and Swap Force that we played. And the one after Swap Force, which I think was Trap Team. By that point, he'd kind of moved away from just playing with toys. So we kind of, I think we bought that game and played a little bit of it, but no, we didn't beat that game. But we beat the other ones. And I think for the first 2, Spyro's Adventure and Giants, we beat them. We beat them multiple times. The first 2 games we got every character for. Like every single figure. And then Swap Force, we didn't get all of them. Like Swap Force, I think Swap Force is the 3rd one. Was at just the point where my brother was starting to, like, age out of toys. He still enjoyed it and stuff like that, but he would just play with the ones that he had. He didn't care that he didn't care as much about, like, trying to get all of them and stuff like that. And wanted to play with all the different ones. And I think we only beat that game once. And by that point, it was like, okay, I'll move on to a different game. So I have fond memories of Skylanders. I have very fond memories of Skylanders. Like, I don't think, and just as video games, I don't think they're bad games. They're very basic. They are very basic. They are very much child's first beat 'em up. But there's enough difference going on with, like, different characters that little kids playing it. Oh, here we go! Here we go! Wait, oh, no, never mind. That was just the first time I've stunned you. That is concerning. That's just the first time I've stunned you. I feel like I'm doing this very, very slowly. There's got to be a spot here to stand where I can actually hit you. I think I'm standing too far away when you start doing that move. Oh god. Ah, this is so hard. This is so hard. Holy shit. Holy shit. We've reached another one. That's fucked me. Skylanders was cool as fuck, especially back in the day. It was the only thing like it. Skylanders sounds like Cash Grab more DLC, but it was actually used to get more toys of game characters. So that's the thing. Yeah, if you think of Skylanders as just a video game, it's absolutely not worth the cost. But if you're a child who likes just playing with toys, it's absolutely a worthwhile investment. Because the toys were like $15 each. Other figures that were that size would be that or more expensive at toy shops at the time. And man, that type of toy integrated video game, every attempt to use that formula has been awful, but still. Except Lego Dimensions, I guess that one was good, I heard, just overpriced. Skylanders is the one that used the idea of the toys being their own toys the most effectively. Because your level ups applied to the toy directly. And you had to upgrade paths. So your toy was your toy. In terms of, you got this levels for this, you did the side challenges for this character to unlock, like, extra skill points for it. You chose, like, you got this armor for this character to wear that to add to these stats. You've got this upgrade path to change how the moves you can use for that character. You've collected the extra crystal that gives it the extra attack. So if you took that toy to your friend's house, which my brother did, you could play that, you could bring your toy and just be like, hey, look, I'll show you what I've done with my character. And you can bring over your toy and show them, like, in their game, all of the upgrades that you've done for it. So the idea of it being its own toy, that's its own thing, that's yours. Skylanders is really the only one that's ever done that. Not saying that it justifies the cost or that concept was needed to make the game work. But in terms of making a child care about the individual toy as a toy, Skylanders is the only one that has even attempted that. Because how Toys to Life stuff has worked in almost every other video game has been an unlock system. You use the toy and it unlocks the thing in the game. Amiibos are the most egregious example of that, obviously. But in other Toys to Life games, it's you have this character, it now unlocks that character in the game, and you just use it. And that's it. Or it just unlocks the gate in the game that does the thing. Skylanders is the only one that had, like, any data saved to the toy that was, like, really showing it that it was yours. Oh, I guess the fighter figures in Smash can kind of count as that, but it's not as direct. The bad side, LEGO Dimensions being the worst one. Well, I think LEGO Dimensions is another example of it being primarily an unlock system as opposed to having an identity to it. Doing some research, not only the first Toys to Life game, discounting pre-NFC technicalities. The first was UB Funkies, which holy fuck, I hadn't thought about that in a decade. That's really neat. Most of the games have straight toys like keys. Basically, yeah. Yeah. It's what, like, my brother didn't get into any other Toys to Life game. Like, my parents bought Disney Infinity for him. Like, my parents got him Disney Infinity, but he didn't care. He didn't care. It also helps that the actual build quality and the style of how Skylanders were built, those were very much built to be played with. Disney Infinity Amiibo are more like figures, where they're designed to be displayed. If you, like, play rough with them and beat them around like kids play with toys, Amiibos in Disney Infinity, and LEGO, obviously, they're gonna break. Though with LEGO, you can at least rebuild it. Skylanders toys are durable little fuckers. They, like, those toys were designed that kids would play with them, and play with them like they were kids, where they would, like, oh, I'm gonna put you on the tower, oh, I'm gonna bang the other one into you, and you knock you off the tower, and stuff like that, ah! Or get them together and just smash them together, ah, they're fighting! Like, Skylanders were built to do that, because my brother would do that, and none of it would break, and the paint would barely chip on any of them. You could not do that with Amiibos. Some Amiibos, maybe, but for the most part, Amiibos were so many Amiibos, especially in the early days, were so fucking delicate. They needed a separate stand on it to hold them in place so they wouldn't break of their own accord of gravity. Like, obviously, Skylanders was designed as an excuse to have a game that kids could spend several $100s on playing the game and invest all of this money into this one product. They've bought the game, now they want to buy more toys. Obviously, it was that and everything like that. Obviously. And I'm not going to, like, justify that aspect of how it functions and things like that. But at a bare minimum, when it came to the design philosophy of how to get kids to play it and care about these toys, they thought about it beyond just make them spend money on it. Which you could also just say is they're aiming that at a much younger audience, so how do we get kids to care about these toys? We make sure they can play with them like toys and they can feel like they are their own toys. And the toy is the thing that... And the toy and everything about your toy with its save data and progress on it, that's the thing that comes to life in the game, and not just the character the toy is based on. They thought about those aspects of getting kids to care about that stuff with Skylanders. It's not to justify the concept of it and how much money it can make people spend on it or anything like that. But inside of that concept, they did care and give a shit about making kids enjoy it. So there is that. There is that. But then no one would have paid attention to it if they just released it as is. So then they chuck Spyro's face on it to just say, hey, we need this game to have any form of marketing for our brand new game that, like, if you want to play as all the characters, you need to spend about $300 on. Put Spyro on it. They did also do that. They did also do that. Because if Spyro wasn't on it, would have gotten a lot less attention. So you can figure, once again, looked at every figure at a convention and bought none. Looking for a good Shinobi or Haruhi, and those are super niche shows in America. You know what the concerning thing is when it comes to figures and how much money I'm considering spending on figures? I found someone on Etsy who can make clay figurines of your Warrior of Light from Final Fantasy XIV. Like, you take in-game screenshots of them, and they will make it completely custom-made to match your character and the gear and everything that you have them for, and the pose and everything. And the images that I've seen of the ones that they've made are, like, ridiculously high quality. They are clay. So I'm worried because I live somewhere that's super fucking humid. I have no idea how a clay figure would hold up in that. If I got one, I would probably need to get some form of sealed box for it. Because I think if I just had a clay figure, even if it's been treated or anything, but if I just had a clay figure living somewhere that is super fucking humid for a lot of the year, I don't think clay would respond to that very well. This fight is really hard. I have no idea how to attack this prick. How do I attack this fucker? He's just always doing shit where I can't hit him. I completely forget how to do this. I don't even think this part of the fight has necessarily changed. I just can't work it out. It's been too long since I've done this fight. I'm fairly confident there's a way to hit him easier while he's doing that attack. I just can't work out what it is. I can shoot magic at a distance as you go faster when close by. Oh god. I meant to dash the other way. I can do that. Despite being airborne, a genuine strategy for that could be to dash, to dive down. Because then I get the invuln frames, and the dash should hit high enough to still hit you. Long down, dash towards him often. I can't put long nail on. Oh, Jesus. I'll be honest, I don't know why I pressed the dash button there. See, that does hit you. I just don't know how much damage that part's doing. I don't know how much damage it's doing. I think part of the strategy is actually sticking close to him. Like, if you see him move somewhere, just go near him. I think that's actually part of the strat. Because then the homing attacks are much harder to hit you. There we go. I think that is part of it. I think part of it may also be to not talk about Skylanders. I don't know. If everyone's enjoying my podcast. We're redoing boss fights. That's the perfect timing for it. That's the perfect time to go into podcast mode. Sometimes in a game we go into podcast mode. And that's fine. And that's fine. Oh, I meant to dash. Oh, I died. So again, we still haven't even gotten to the hard part yet. Ah, Jesus. Oh, that one orb was still going. That was terrifying. So that, again, does hit you, though. It does hit you. Oh, God. It's terrifying when you do the fake out. Oh, fuck. I tried to dash that. Didn't do that. I'm giving tips again. Well, I don't have long nails, so the tip doesn't even apply. I just muscle memory. I like fighting enough that I forget how to do it. It's been so long since I've done this that I forget the way that I did it before. Don't do that at the start. I don't have magic yet. Asshole. 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 So speaking about going into podcast mode, it's an idea that I've wanted to do for ages, but it either requires learning how to do something on my own or having money to pay someone else to do it. And that's make a VTuber. And if there is a way to have an excuse to just do actual podcasts, if people talk to me about something and I'll respond, VTubing is that, because a lot of VTubers just do that as a stream, where it's just, the stream is, we're just gonna chat about bullshit. So VTubing would be a perfect excuse for that. Main reason I want to do, like, I wouldn't become a VTuber. I wouldn't become a VTuber. Doing VTube stuff would be a, oh, I didn't even see you dash up there. Doing VTubing would be like a super infrequent thing. Like, it wouldn't be the only thing I do. It wouldn't even be close to the main thing that I do. I would do it every now and then, kind of thing. But I just have such a good, stupid gimmick for it that I want to do it, because the gimmick that I have for it is really fucking dumb, but it's so perfect. Bruh! So I just want to do it to do the gimmick. And also, if I turn myself into a hot anime girl, maybe people will draw porn of me. There is also that. There is also that underlying motivation that no one's gonna draw porn of me looking like this. But if I turn myself into a hot anime girl, maybe then people will draw porn of me. So there is also that. That is also one of the motivators. There is also that. The Shang streams are pretty popular among the VTube. That's gonna come my thought process. The thing is, if I was to do VTube, like the idea of if I was going to do VTubing, I would do VTubing for any streams that are way more casual, which I know my content is already super casual as it is. But basically everything that I do for streaming is playing through a game, start to finish, let's do the game, and for most of those games, let's also put our completion metric at way too high for reasonable for an LP. So VTubing would just be like a way more casual in the sense of just, we just want to play something as a one-off because fuck it, let's just play it today or anything like that. And then like the VTubing persona could be the one to do that kind of thing. There is also that element of it. So just chatting streams would be perfect for it as well. Ow! Just to kind of like differentiate between the vibes of, here's me, the gamer, playing through and beating a game and doing all the shit in it and stuff like that, compared to, here's the VTuber who's just fucking around and just having fun. So also that is like a delineation between the types of things like that. So there is that. But it's also the gimmick that I have for it is just really stupid. The gimmick that I have for it is also just really fucking dumb. I don't want to say the full gimmick. I don't want to say the whole idea. Because it's something that I do genuinely want to do. And I should learn how to do it. I'll learn how to do it immediately after I learn how to G-pose so I can have mine for show off her tits. Oh, heal! Heal, heal, heal! Ah, jeez. Well, the healing didn't work. That is so fast! That is so fast! Time for a casual stream puts on full body tracking. That was so quick! I forgot how fast that was at that point. Yeah, half of the reason to become a VTuber is so people will draw porn of me. That is correct. That is correct. I'm narcissistic enough that if someone drew porn of me as a hot anime girl, I'd jerk off to it. I'm narcissistic enough to do that. I have no qualms admitting that. Look how quick that part was. I have no qualms admitting that. No, yeah, I wouldn't want to say, I don't want to say like the, oh my god. You know what, just kill me. I need help for that final phase. Just fucking kill me. Just end me! Yeah, I don't want to say the full gimmick, because I do plan on doing it. But, the gimmick starts with the name. The gimmick starts with the name. Because the name of the VTubing character would be VTuber. As in, V2, B-E-R. That's where the stupid gimmick starts. That's where it starts. I'm pretty sure I've said that part on stream before, so that part I'm fine admitting. Exactly, right? Right? That idea has to happen because it's so perfect. Because every VTuber has like an intricate backstory and like lore behind them. Because every VTuber is just an anime character basically. So a lot of VTubers have their own like lore because they're playing a character about like usually about some form of angel and or demon and or serial killer who now streams on Twitch. So I know exactly what the backstory is. I know exactly what the backstory is. I know exactly what the first stream would be. I know what all of that is, and the gimmick for it is it's probably been done. It's probably been done, but I don't know enough about all the VTubers to know that. But also, between the name and the way that I would do it, it's also a perfect gimmick. But I don't want to say that part until I do it, because I want that to be a surprise. I just have to, you know, be bothered to do it, to actually get it ready one day. This fight is really hard! This fight is so fucking hard! You're just pissing me off, and I'm gonna... Fuck you. So you're not going the furry route? My VTuber will not be a furry. I am a level 2 furry. My VTuber will not be a furry though. I am a 2 on the furry Kinsey scale. Is what we determined earlier today. I am a 2. But no, the VTuber would not be furry. See, part of me is slightly worried about the gimmick that I have an idea for. Because did I miss a good thread? Oh, did you not see that, Domino? We were talking about furries today in the Discord. I'm a level 2 furry. We were talking about to what, like, the different levels of furry and where I fall on that, and I'm a level 2. Yeah. Part of me is slightly worried about my gimmick for VTubing, because it could be taken as something that's mocking the concept of VTubing, and I don't mean it that way. I don't mean it, like, the concept could come across that way, and it's not how I'm intending it. If anything, it's making fun of myself. Ah, Jesus! And it's not like when I say gimmick, it's not like the gimmick would define the entirety of the VTubing and stuff like that. It's just gimmick in terms of what the backstory of the VTubing character is. It's not like, oh, I would do this particular thing for every stream and like I'm doing VTubing, but also adding a gimmick on top of it. It would be normal VTubing past that. It's just a gimmick for what the backstory is and what would the first stream would like entail to get that across. Because the idea that I have is really fucking dumb. You know, if I work out how to hit this motherfucker during that phase easier, I'll do this fight 2 minutes faster. Ah, Jesus! Ow. I tried my best to rush in there on that one. I think me trying to play it safe and just dodging attacks, I don't think that's working on this. I feel like for some of the attack patterns that he does, being hyper aggressive makes it easier to get out of the way. This is still the one that's fucking me up, just because I don't know a good way of doing it. I mean, just getting past him quickly. Just getting past him quickly and then just shooting him in the back seems to be somewhat viable. Oh, Jesus. My man's is moving! Like, I can do that attack, I just think because I'm hitting with, like, just the bare tendrils that are sticking up at the end of it. I just doubt it's doing that much damage. I'm getting better at visually picking up the teleporting lines to try and see where he's going. I'm getting better at picking those up to track him down when he's in shoot mode. Which I think is a key detail to try and, like, pepper him as much as you can. At least my attack for dodging his slams is relatively consistent enough that I can, even if I just always try to dodge the first one, even if he baits me out, I have a way of dodging it. Oh my god! Sometimes when he decides to just run at me there. Puts me up. Oh god. Oh god. Ah, Jesus! Fuck. I already got a good thread, and I'm definitely bi on the furry kidsy scale. Again, I find it really funny to refer to a level of furry as a Kinsey scale. Kinsey scale for 2023. Everyone's bisexual, so it's just how furry are you? I don't know about other people. But for me personally, I genuinely forget very frequently that not everyone's bisexual. I genuinely forget that on a very frequent basis. It is alarmingly common that I'm just like, all right, apparently not everyone's bi. The overwhelming majority of people in my life for the past, like, 7 to 8 years have been, like, super fucking bi. So I genuinely have a lot of moments where I forget that not everyone is. And not even just going, all right, some people are straight. I forget that some people are just gay and not bi. I forget that as well. And I'm just like, oh, right, yeah, shit, sorry, my bad. It happens all the fucking time. I'm a magnet for bisexuals. Not implying in a sexual way where I pick them up all the time. Though damn near every single person that I've been with has been bisexual, so there is that. There is that. Oh my god! Fucking asshole! So that's also another aspect of oh my god. Okay. This runs a wash. Kill me. Kill me. That runs a wash. There's also another aspect of VTubing. I can talk explicitly about sexual adventures, and that's just expected. As opposed to just me bringing up very intimate details while just casually playing Hollow Knight, it's expected that VTubers talk about sex and intimate details of it. Another advantage of— oh my god! Oh, I'm so bad at this fucking video game. Oh, I'm so bad. I'm just gonna die. Just kill me. I'll be honest, I do not remember this fight being anywhere near this hard. I do not remember this fight being even close to this hard. And I don't know if there's pattern changes that are making it harder, or whether it's just you have way more health, so it's taking way longer to kill you, or whether I was this bad at it before, and I just don't remember that because I've been playing this game over the course of a year. It's really hard for me to say. Oh my god, stop doing that! Oh, he just dashes at me sometimes when I'm not expecting it. Because you're a prick! Oh my god. Fucking, I wish there was a way to quit out of a fight easier. Oh my god. Oh my god. Like, of course, it's how many people know nothing about biology. Like, wait, does these people just filter out everything remotely educated about bodies they don't have? I mean, to some extent, at least for me, we were barely taught biology in school. We were genuinely barely taught biology in school. So there is that, at least at my school. I don't believe in school we were taught that there was a difference between where a vagina pees from and where a vagina has sex. I don't think we were taught that in school. I don't think that was ever mentioned. Which is, I feel like that might be an Australian thing, because the number of people I've spoken to who have vaginas, who have been with people who haven't, who have been confused as to how they work, is alarmingly high. And I don't think we were taught that in my school, and I don't know if a lot of people, at least around where I am, were taught that in school either. So there is that. So there is that. Sorry, nothing about human biology. It wasn't like universal biology stuff. Yeah, very, very, yeah. Sex ed was very, nothing, in school for me. The main aspect of sex ed that I remember from our school was put the condom on the banana and telling girls that they can't be mad at boys if boys stare at their boobs because that's what boys do. So girls aren't allowed to get mad about it. Those were like the main things we were taught. Oh, and the vague concept that sex exists in terms of like people having sex. I don't know if we were taught anything beyond that. But we were told in like the vague concept of it is indeed a thing. So, I actively encourage engage in sexual education in the comment sections of gallery sites. There's still more than we were taught at my school, I think. This fight is so difficult. Okay, I do not remember this fight being this hard last time. I don't know if it is different or if I'm just, like, rusty at the game. And this is just something that is something I'm rusty at in the game. I cannot tell. Animals have sex and humans are animals. You can draw your own conclusions from that. So I see people talk about it where it's just like, we need sex education in school for gay people because gay people are left behind on being taught anything about sex education. And, like, that's why, like, STD rates can be higher among gay teenagers because they're not taught anything. And while that is true, they should probably also start doing that for the straights as well. They should probably also try to teach that stuff for the straights as well, because yeah. And there's one thing that I very, very much remember from my time in school, and also times after I was in school speaking to people younger than me, is how little education there is. Like, it's something that I remember my mum saying that when she was in school, it was very heavily hammered in as a thing like that. But just as time's gone on, it's gotten less and less. So it's probably, the problem's probably gotten worse and worse. Just the concept of STDs or STIs, I think they're now referred to as, existing and stuff like that. We were told so little about that concept and stuff like that. Like, the amount of people that I've, like, grown up around in, like, late teenagers, early 20s. And then people who would have been in school after me, going through the same age, where it's just like, oh, the only reason that someone would wear a condom is if you don't want to fall pregnant. But I'm on the pill, so it doesn't matter. And it's just like, no, STDs are a thing. You should still take precautions against that. It's just like, oh, but like, I'm on the pill, so I won't get pregnant, so we don't need it. It's like, it's not. No, please. It's very, very concerning. Because I remember that being something that my mum had taught me about and stuff like that. And just mentioning to her, it's just like, I'm aware of this because, you know, as someone growing up, I matured mentally much quicker than most people around me, and would just, like, want to learn about these things in my own time beforehand, about not just sexual related matters, but just, like, general things, just, like, everything about, like, the world. And I'd just be like, yeah, we weren't taught about anything about that in school, and my mom was just like, what the fuck? Why? It's, like, super important. I was like, I don't know. I cannot explain to you why they decided that was not important for enough for us to learn. Deeply, deeply concerning. The fucking dash the wrong way. Dash the wrong way. This fight is so fucking hard. See, the thing is, at least for... God damn it. At least for this... I'm not getting angry at this fight like Markov. Because in this fight, I can tell that I'm just not doing the things well enough. I can, like, every time an attack pattern comes up, I can tell very clearly I'm just not doing well enough at dodging it. I'm just, like, I'm not getting the skills to dodge it. So I'm not getting mad that I'm, like, repeatedly dying to this fight, because I feel like it's always my fault. I can be put into tougher situations, but it always feels like very much I could have done something about that. Whereas Markov sometimes just feels like he chooses that you're going to fucking die. I imagine it's always technically possible to do Markov without getting hit. But I feel like the difference between an easier and a harder Markov is a massive fucking gulf, whereas for this, harder will be, like, a harder pattern will be a little tougher, but still, like, slightly more skill needed compared to a not as rough pattern. So I didn't read chat between that, talking about sexual. I'm gonna need to mark this VOD differently on YouTube in terms of what's been discussed. I did something, according to YouTube's marketing, much worse than advertising neo-Nazi conspiracy theories, which is talk about sex education. So I'm gonna have to mark that no one should allow ads on this. Ow. But all of my videos on YouTube now get... there was the end of last year where, like, YouTube was going extra aggressive on its limits in terms of what you get marked as for... oh, if you do this, it's now limited... oh, fuck, they're shooting at me. But it's now limited ads. And people were getting really annoyed because it's like, everything's being limited. What the fuck, YouTube? Because they, like, retroactively changed the rules and then applied it to everything. Which they've apparently turned back on that and not doing that. But still, almost every single video that I put up on YouTube gets marked as limited ads. And I don't know why. I mean, I have a suspicion. But part of it's meant to be, if you swear in the first, like, 7 seconds, and not that. I'm just like, I'm not swearing in the first 7 seconds. I swear a fuckload, don't get me wrong. But I'm normally not swearing in the first 7 seconds, because I'm normally doing an introduction for a video. And then I realized that I call people gay in the first 7 seconds. So, I'm not saying that YouTube is flagging my content as limited ads, because I always introduce viewers as gorgeous gays at the start of my videos. And I have, like, 4 different pride flags as my video, because I've got them here and there. Sorry, there. Wrong side. But, yeah, over there. I'm not saying that's why YouTube's always limiting my videos. But ever since people were, like, getting all of their videos limited last year, mine are still always being limited. Regardless of what I do. So I've just said fuck and I've started putting swears in the descriptions and titles more frequently now. Just fuck it. It's like not make a goddamn difference for me anyways. Oh god, okay, that was... It's kind of like Lost Kin. It's kind of like Lost Kin, where I'm way too frequently acting as if I know what he's going to do, where I need to wait and stop. I need to see what he's doing every time he teleports to see what he's about to do. Way too frequently, I assume he's going to do a particular attack to continue a pattern, and he goes to do something else, and that gets me hit. So I'm going to read chats talking about STDs. We had... wait. I don't have to scroll for that, it's all on here. We had school projects about contraception methods and STDs, which really helped a lot in cementing the need for protection in my generation's minds, but nothing else. Yeah, very much didn't have that for me. I think the biggest difference is random elements. Manga that appears in random locations at random times in random amounts as he randomly moves around with a shield that randomly swaps direction. I think random about Soul Tyrant is the exact order he does his attacks in. That is true. That is true. Like, this fight can randomly be a little easier or a little harder, whereas Markov can be randomly a little impossible. I think basically, yeah. One thing I need to do is if he teleports in the air to the side of the map, assume he's doing this. If he teleports to the ground at the sides, assume that he's dashing. If he's anywhere in the middle, upper or lower, he's probably going to shoot at me. So I can get in some hits. Oh, okay, that was just me not pressing the dash button quick enough. So now, no, he's not gonna continue shooting at me. Oh god. I'll be honest, I don't know what I tried to do there. I can't answer that for you. I wonder if it's worth putting on Sharp Shadow for this. I'm not using charge attacks. I wonder if it's worth putting on Sharp Shadow to try and dash through him when he does the running at me attack. I could possibly Sharp Shadow the other the spinning one as well. Like I could Sharp Shadow through this. Which I think Sharp Shadow also gives you a longer dash, so it's easier to iframe through stuff because you just move further. But also would do damage. Like I could hit him there. If I die this attempt, let's be optimistic. It might be worth putting on. Fuck. That was just me dashing the wrong direction. I tried to move away to get my spacing, and then he hit me anyways. Because I'm bad at the video game. I do not remember this fight being anywhere near this hard. And I can't tell if it's just rust or whether it was this hard before and I've just forgotten. I cannot tell. Because I swear it was nowhere near this many attempts before. Like, I've gotten to the final phase once. I've gotten to the final phase once and I instantly died. So I can do that. Fuck. I thought he was gonna shoot at me. There we go. So I remember the Soul Master being Soul Tyrant being a bit of a bitch. I feel like I didn't take this many attempts last time, but I don't know if anything's changed other than just more health. But I wouldn't have had upgrades and everything last time I did this anyways. Okay, I can hit him during that, but trying to work out how to, when it's actually safe to do that is going to be another thing entirely. Ah, Jesus! Asshole. Ah, fucking goddammit. How frequently I'm dashing in the wrong direction. Again, I don't know if anything's actually different about the fight. In terms of dodging the attacks and stuff, I feel like I'm doing way worse than what we did before at Soul Tyrant. But I don't think anything is actually different. I think Ascended here is just health. I can't see anything different. Stage doesn't seem different, his attack pattern doesn't seem different. The end part might be a little faster, but it's also been a while since I've done that. Don't start with that one. I'm now getting hit by the dash, which is a concerning thing. Okay, yeah. Go. I don't think I hit him on that one, but it's fine. It's fine. Go. Ah, Jesus. That was just poorly spaced out in every capacity. And that did something. That did something. There we go. There we go. I can find when they're vertical, double jump, and then dash into them for that. Ah, Christ. There we go. There we go. That's how I do that part. That's how I do that part. There we go. We have a way of attacking him when he does the side to side, regardless of how he does it now. And it's basically the same strat for both. Dash through him and then shoot him in the back. Calm down! Jesus. Tee-hee. I don't even know if Sharp Shadow is going to do like a massive amount of damage difference, but if it makes it easier. Well, I don't. Right, this doesn't have shockwaves. He doesn't have shockwaves on this. We just dash. I forgot about that. Yeah, he doesn't have shockwaves when he's doing the rampage one. Oh, I remember this phase now. Oh, I remember this phase. Oh, I remember this phase. Oh yeah, he just stands and shoots you. Shoots you. Yeah, those had shockwaves. You have to jump. No. Oh, one spawned like right behind me. No, I committed. I committed with a magic attack. I should have done that. No. Okay. I definitely got to that a lot faster though. Having the Sharp Shadow, I definitely got to that a hell of a lot faster. Honestly, I should probably use Sharp Shadow more frequently. Sharp Shadow is probably my best 2 slot at this point, just because doing damage when I dash through attacks, because I abuse iframes very frequently because I'm a slut. I need another slut shirt. I need another slut shirt. The only slut shirt that I have is white. I think I've worn it on stream before. The issue is one, white shirts just get not white a bit too quickly. Primarily because my skin is very oily. My skin is very oily. Even if I'm freshly washed and everything like that, if I wear a white shirt, it won't stay white for super long if I'm wearing it. Like, I have to wear it for a little bit and then immediately wash it after, or otherwise, even leaving it for a day for the next load of washing. White shirts won't stay white for very long. But also, something that I realized is that white shirts, depending on the material they're made out of, with how bright that light is, they're a little see-through. Which, to be fair, is perfect for the idea of wearing a shirt that tells people that I'm a slut. But I'm not going for Twitch TOS or anything like that. So I need a shirt that lets people know that I'm a slut while being a black shirt. And then I can wear it under my jackets and everything. And I can let people know that I'm a fucking whore. But not showing them my tits until after we start. The Sharp Shadow is also helping get out of the way of the rampage slams to slightly further distance. Definitely true. Definitely true. Main reason I want to lose weight is so that my tits are more noticeable as being tits. So I've only been on HRT for long enough, over different periods of time, that I definitely have. There's definitely some boobage going on there, but there's but the size of the boobage is significantly smaller than the size of my stomach, so they don't come across as boobs that much. Sometimes they're not even noticeable just compared to the size of the stomach, and it looks like I'm still flat-chested. And then sometimes it just looks like, oh, I have man boobs and stuff like that. No, apparently if I want to pass, all I need to do is not wash my fucking hair. Apparently not washing my hair is what I need to do to pass, which makes no fucking sense to me. I almost bought a leather choker with studs on the word princess on it. It was too small for me. I can't wear chokers. It looks really bad because of how much I have here. Chokers don't work for me because of how much skin there is here. Which, to be fair, this amount of jowlage here, even when I was a lot skinnier, was still here. The skin is just very loose there. But me wearing a choker doesn't work for that because this goes over the choker and covers it. I have to match my I would have matched my month-old beard as well. It is very funny seeing people talk about like seeing other trans women just talking about how their goal is they want to look well enough to pass and stuff like that and everything like that. And it's just like, I don't want people to continue clocking me. I want to be able to, be passable and stuff like that. And my goal is, I want to be... I want to be passable as trans first. Most people who see me in person don't even realize I'm trans. A lot of trans women will have the goal of trying to pass as a cis woman. Fucking, I want to pass as a trans woman first. But I don't have that part down yet. Ah, Jesus. I mean, that being said, my fashion sense doesn't help. My fashion sense does not fucking help. I have no desire to change it. I'm not going to dress in high femme for the sake of people looking at me as femme. No, I dress how I want because I fucking like it, and stiff shit. That part's not changing, and stuff like that. But most people who look at me don't even realize that I'm trans in the first place. The idea of ever passing as a cis woman is just never gonna happen to me. But also, I don't really have that as a girl. It gets excluded a number of times because the more I tell people about it, the more people are assholes about it. But I am non-binary. I don't have dysphoria about looking masculine or anything like that. I don't, like, my goal isn't to look zero masculine whatsoever or anything like that. Just, you know, the more feminine the body, the more appealing it is to look at because it has some level of definition and shape to it as opposed to flat lines that a lot of mask bodies have. Especially my body without any feminine features. It is just flat lines and big ass. And stuff like that. So more feminine appearance is more so about that. Just, you know, having shape and definition just looks appealing regardless. It's why like I'm not doing voice trading. Because I don't care. I have, like, it is not a goal for me to sound like I have a feminine voice. It's not something that I actively desire. And like if I was to do voice training, it would be to learn about how to change my voice more frequently. I probably wouldn't speak. Why am I pressing square to dash? What am I doing? I wouldn't speak in a feminine voice all the time. I think my voice suits my personality ridiculously well, and so I'm gonna do that. People say that voice training isn't about the pitch of your voice or anything like that. It's about the intonations and everything like that. So my response is always to that. So it's about changing not the sound of your voice, but how you talk. Voice training isn't changing the sound of, like, you're not changing what your voice sounds like. You're changing what the way that you talk is. And if that's what voice training is, I don't want to fucking do it. I like the way that I talk. The sound, I mean, I don't like the sound of my voice. It's not because it's masculine, it's because it's a fucking Australian accent. I have nationality dysphoria. I have an Australian accent, and I feel like I should have literally any other accent because goddamn, the Australian accent is fucking garbage. But that's why I have no desire to do voice trading. Because at the, oh damn it, gotta do it in a circle. Oh my god, it just killed me. Just kill me. I was getting ready to adapt, come into a different one. This fight's really hard. This fight's really hard. So, I'm going into podcast mode too much. I'm not focusing on this. It's all right. No one's here to watch me play a video game. No one's here to watch me play a video game well or anything like that. No one's here to watch me do that. People are here to talk about random bullshit. Man, to be fair, at this point, if you're watching God Home, I've done all of the exploration and finding new bosses content. At this point, I've done that. I'm doing boss refights. If you're watching this, you're probably expecting some random bullshit. I swear you were doing it more frequently when I was vertical before. Do I try my terrible Canadian French accent? It's better than the Australian accent. Because literally any accent is better than the Australian accent. The 4 different British accents, pretty much all of them are better than the Australian accent. The Australian accent is so garbage. It's so bad. It is really fun to over-exaggerate it sometimes for a comedic effect, but it sounds like shit. Well, I did everything about that wrong. And transition goals are weird for me. Transition goals are weird. I don't really have any. And part of that is just that I can't have transition goals that are anything lofty because I'll never look good. I'll never look good, so there's no point in just going, oh, I hope I can look like this and everything like that, because it's just like, anything I achieve, I'm still gonna look like shit. I still have this, for fuck's sake, so none of that is gonna change. Maybe facial feminizing surgery would actually fix this fucked up mess, but I doubt it. But so anything like that. So it's just like, any transition goals are just like, I'm still gonna look like shit, and people don't treat trans women as actual women unless they're drop dead gorgeous. So, you know. So, you know, I will never reach that, so there's no point in having any goals in terms of that. Ow. Ow. And it's also just, like, you know, being super non-binary. Like, most people just consider me trans woman. And I don't try to make it not more complicated than that, for the most part, because any more complicated than that, and people start being assholes. But I am non-binary. And it's like 40-30-30 in terms of she, he, they. It's like, it is probably a ratio of 40 to 30 to 30. More towards the she side of things, but, like, barely. Barely. So, having transition goals with that is just like a... I'm considering facial hair removal because I don't like having any. Hate shaving and hate being called Mister. And that same for everything you said. I mean, I've had laser hair removal on my face. I fucking hate facial hair. Aesthetically, I don't like facial hair on damn near most people. But that's personal preference. That means fucking nothing to anyone because it should. But I especially don't like it on myself. Even if I was to present mask, facial hair would look shit on me because of the way that it grows on my face. But I hate the feeling of it. Like, even if I wasn't trans, like, before I realized I was trans, I was considering getting laser hair removal because my facial hair looks shitty and grows ridiculously rapidly and is ridiculously stiff and is horribly uncomfortable. Parts of it around here are starting to come back because I haven't had laser hair removal in ages. But I don't want to pay money to go back and do it again. Because it was getting to the point where I think laser hair removal had done as much of a job as it could at this hair here, because it's so thick and so stubborn. And when you get laser hair removal for like a week afterwards, this is the fucked up thing about laser hair removal, why I stopped doing it, after like most of the work was put into it. Because at the start, it's worth it, but once it's like, most of it's thinned out and there's like little bits coming back, it ends up becoming not worth it. Because for like a week after you get it done, the hair that's on your face is even more noticeable than if you never got it done. Like, while the hair is falling out and stuff, after I would immediately have a laser session, it would be about a week where any of the tiny little bits that were on here would be super noticeable. And then it would disappear. But also, because of how fast my fucking hair grows and stuff, I was getting it done every 4 weeks. So it was basically paying the money to get it done every 4 weeks. And out of those 4 weeks, 1 week of that, it's going to look worse than if, like, just normally leaving it. At a trade-off for 3 weeks where it's kind of like, where it's a bit less noticeable. I'm just like, I can just shave that little part because it's not that much. Or I can just fucking pluck it with tweezers. So it just ended up becoming not worth it. It got rid of the most part. Like, all up here barely grows at all. And it has thinned out a lot here. It just got to the point where it had reached the limit. Before it was doing anything worthwhile at that point. So there was that. This fight is so hard! Maybe if I shut up and pay attention to it, I'll do it. Maybe if I stop talking about things that aren't Hollow Knight, maybe I'll do it first try. Maybe I'm irritating everyone by taking forever to do it because I'm not talking about anything else. Look, because I am talking about other things. What are you doing? Most people face share removal means looking worse than the majority of a year or two. One thing, with how intense the hair was on my face, because the facial hair on my face is incredibly thick, like my normal hair, but is very pitch black. So, before I started getting laser hair removal, freshly shaven, you could still see it on my face. There was no level of shaving that I could do where you couldn't see it on my face because it is so dark that the parts that are underneath the skin you can see. So it was basically the only option that I could have. It's just like for about a week after you get a session done, it will look worse. But once that week passes and it falls out, then it will look fine until it starts coming back. And for like for the 2 years or so that I was getting it done, for a good chunk of that, it was like thinning out over time, and it's definitely like so much less than what it used to be. So overall, it was definitely worth it. It's gotten to a point where it's reached the limit of worth it. But the laser hair clinic, or at least the one that I went to, because money, they don't tell you at that point, like, they don't recommend a point when you get to that stage of you're getting diminishing returns, or you're just actively, like, not getting returns at this point. They won't tell you that shit. You just gotta kind of intuit it yourself, because they'll just keep rebooking you for sessions until you tell them no. So there is that. There's pathetic chip damage in on that. Yeah, I think the dive attack, which I was having issues with dodging, I've just got to double jump to the side, and if he goes to fake it out, that's when I can dash towards him, and I'll be safe. I just got to double dash to the side in case he goes to fake it out. Because double jumping to the side will always do. Yeah, do that. There we go. That's the strat for that. Oh, I didn't get the magic in, but I got that part. Okay. Magic. It's a kind of... Oh, Jesus Christ! I thought he was going to shoot me. This is so not easy. Again, I don't know if this fight is different than last time. It's just... I dashed instead of jumped. I think he's just so whippy and wavy. Okay, get ready for it. He's just so whippy and wavy that you've got to, like... The ways to get out of his stuff is, like, not the simplest kind of thing to do. And just not having experience with this game like when I did it the first time, just trying to get that kind of pattern down pat is not as easy. Yeah, play it safe there. Dodge an attack, get a hit in, get ready to dodge the next one, get a hit in. I'm trying to burst damage through it to get this phase over with, but any burst damage is going to commit me too much to a thing that... No! I dashed like a half second too late. No! Okay. Okay. We're at a point where I know what to do. It's just a matter of execution. We are at a point where I know what to do. Sacrifice sucks. Because I just want to power through it, but I know doing that will get me killed. He faked that out ridiculously quick. He went from the initial dash, like he went from the fake out to the real dash before I even had a chance to start moving on that one. Shit. Ah, Jesus! Fuck, I'm having a hard time getting the, like, reacting fast enough to seeing him dash. Because he's in a certain, like, animation for it, so you can always tell before he starts doing it. Like, the moment that he appears, you can tell he's about to do it. I'm just having a hard time picking it up. Oh, Jesus. Fuck. I'm doing too much assuming he's going to do one thing, and I'm getting punished for it. Because everything that he does... I dashed the wrong way. Everything he does, I've got to respond a different way to do it. So if I assume he's going to do something without seeing what he's doing, I get hit for it. So grab, I have to go through M&A, take my meds at a reasonable time tomorrow. Understandable. Understandable. I might end it after I do this one. Because this has taken some work. Because, oh dear God, we have you next. Jesus. But understandable. Thank you for joining in anyways. Get the rare domino tree. It's nice. I like it. I stream at the worst fucking time. Well, no, to be fair, I could stream at a worse time. I could... Oh, fuck. I just pressed... My brain had to jump, and then I dash. Oh, my God! Oh, my brain... Okay, I'm just doing the wrong things. I'm just doing the wrong things now. I'm just doing the wrong things now. You'll be starting stream now. Hey, don't worry. That will be a thing that happens at least once a week. Because I work slightly later, 2 days a week now, which is really fucking frustrating. I'm in a terrible time zone. There's one good time for me to stream, and it's when I work. And it's when I would work for damn near any job I could get. Ah, Jesus, that one's really close to me. Still going on that. If he starts at a point where it's not as vertical, where I can't get the horizontal thing in, that was a lot more scary. Ah, I dashed the wrong way. That's the wrong fucking way. Again, it's not. This fight isn't infuriating like Markov. It is a good fight. It's just exploiting the type of patterns that I'm not good at. Again, it's why I consider like Nightmaking Grim is nowhere close to the hardest fight in this game. But I know some people definitely think it is, but nah. Nightmaking Grim is the exact type of thing I can do well in this game. To be fair, this is close to it. Like, this is the type of thing that I am good at. It's just, I feel like this requires quicker pattern recognition of like seeing the thing and responding accordingly than Nightmaking Grim does. Primarily because how he can do it changes, whereas Nightmaking Grim has a telegraph on everything, and all those telegraphs are very different, and it goes from one to the next, like much cleaner with like more of a separation. Where for this dude, he'll jump between the things much quicker. And it can take, and sometimes he'll be really fast on, you have to react now, and sometimes where it's just, you can't quite tell what he's going to do, and you have to wait for him to start moving. You can't just see him move somewhere and immediately know that it's safe. Yep. Oh, fuck on that one. Ah! I pressed the wrong button. So I gotta create some brain rot sometimes where just so frequently my brain is saying, do this thing, and my hands are doing a different action. Oh god. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. It's a very annoying spot for you to be. Why'd you have to be in the corner? Why'd you have to be in the corner for that? It's so much harder. How many times do we have to survive this? Yeah, there we go! Woo! There it is! There it is! Unless you do a second fake out, I generally don't remember. Yay! There we go! Woo! Damn! Damn, that one required some fucking doing. Woo! There we go. There we go. Woo! Never mind, I cleared that earlier than I thought. I thought I was going to be stuck on that for like another half an hour. Nice! Fucking not. Okay, what do we have left in terms of dream fights? We've got White Defender. What we have left is actually, I can literally go and read the board, can't I? We can literally go and read the board about what I do and don't have left. I was counting damage that time. Your spiders did almost entire streaks worth of damage in that second phase. Nice. Children's strat, best strat. Fucking nice. Alright, so... Failed champion, which is terrifying. So yeah, everything we have left is failed champion, Grey Prince Zote, White Defender, Markov, and Nightmare King. That is everything we have left out of the fights that we've unlocked. All of those suck. Well, Nightmare King Room's a fucking amazing fight, but it's gonna be hard as shit. Oh, and Oro and Mato, but we also haven't beaten them normally yet. We also have not beaten Oro and Mato normally. So that's part of that. We can try White Defender. I'm curious what White Defender's going to be like here. Because we haven't beat, like, all of the versions of White Defender back in the real world. So I'm curious what are they going to do for this? Kindly God of Bravery and Honor. So, yeah, what are they going to do for this? Also, is the arena going to change? Doma. Oi. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, the dive. Oh, God. I don't even remember this fight, turns out. I don't remember this fight at all. Oh. Ow. Doma. Even more appropriate now that I've actually played through Stormblood. White Defender, what about Alamigo? What am I talking about? There's already a White Defender of Alamigo. Her name is Lise. Yeah, I was saying it before during Tears of the Kingdom. We need a counter on screen of every. Okay, he's not safe to attack when he's throwing people. He is not safe to attack for that. We need a counter on screen every time I reference 14 outside of playing 14. Get ready for it. There he goes. Yo. Ding. Look at him go. I feel like Sharpshooter is going to really help for this one. Half of the problem that I've been having with this fight is getting out of the way of him doing stuff like this. Having the extra range of Sharpshooter. Ow, fuck. I didn't even see the poop. I feel like having the extra range of Sharpshooter is going to help me a lot with getting out of the way of this stuff. Maybe Sharpshooter has been the strat all along. Maybe I should be using that way more frequently. Yeah. Hopefully we can get this done today. Hopefully this won't take me an hour. Hopefully. You know what's unfair? You know what's unfair? So like all of the dream fights in this, you activate a second thing to get the dream version of the fight, right? But Grey Prince Zote doesn't have that. There's no normal version of Zote where we just have to fight the Zote from the Colosseum and kill him in one attack. And the Ascended version is he takes two hits to kill. We don't have that in this, and that is unfair. That is unfair. No. I want to say normal Zote be Ascended and take 2 hits to kill instead of 1. Like, it's this program, regardless how much damage you do, he just takes 2 hits. And then just normal Attuned does 1. But we don't get that, sadly. Normal Zote's the one boss that doesn't count as a god, apparently. The thing that captured Zote when we first saw him, that counts as a boss, which I didn't realize at the time was meant to be a boss fight. But that counts as a boss. But fighting Zote at the end of the Colosseum doesn't count, sadly. Unfair. Unfair. The disrespect. The disrespect. Though, to be fair, apparently Hollow Knight and Radiance don't count either, so... apparently Hollow Knight and Radiance aren't gods either, so... Maybe that's why. Maybe because Zote is on the level of Hollow Knight and Radiance. Maybe that's why. He's a god that is too strong for the people of Godhome to contain. Like Hollow Knight and Radiance. So therefore, they weren't able to get him. They weren't able to attune with a being of such a higher level. From the Vengeful King's the only boss in the game that shows up in the Hall of Gods by default. If you've never seen it before in the game, it'll still be unlocked. Ah, Jesus. Again, I didn't even realize that was meant to be a boss when we first did it. But you come here and it's just like, oh yeah, that thing that was holding, so it's a boss, isn't it? Apparently. Did it even have a name when we fought it? I don't think it did. I don't think... Because you get name introductions for other boss fights when you fight them in the normal game. But I don't think Vengeful King did. It just shouts at you after you hit it and try to freeze Zoe from it. I don't think so, no. Yeah. Which is why it's confusing that it has a name. Did Zoe get a name in the Colosseum? I'm not actually sure. I'm not actually sure. Oh my god. Try doming yourself. The funny poop man is too strong. Oh god. He's so good. He's so fucking good. Oh god, okay. Okay, so when he does this scream, that's when he just does several of those in a row. I feel like because it's been so long since I've played the rest of the game, and we've spent so long just like trying to flesh out the journal, doing the God Home and stuff like that, which hasn't been that many streams, but time-wise has been a lot of time. I feel like my brain's like, my brain has spent so long just doing this game as just nothing but boss fights, right? We've spent so long doing like boss fights primarily that my brain is kind of just going, oh yeah, this game's a boss rush game, which it is good at. This game does have really good boss fights. But my brain does have to, I do have to remind myself fairly frequently, oh yeah, this game is also just like an incredible Metroidvania. This game is also just an amazing Metroidvania. Like, I don't think this game hits like top 10 of all time for me or anything. Just for like a personal preference kind of thing, more than anything. But I'm pretty sure I've said it before in the playthrough, and I still stand by it. I think this game is simultaneously both the best Metroid game and the best Souls game that I've played. Very hard to tell where he's gonna pop out during that phase. And I feel like if I constantly try to dash past him, I'll either be in the air when the poop comes out, and I won't have time to get out of the way, or I'm just gonna dash over him coming out. Yeah, I think out of Soul Styles games that I've played and Metroidvanias, I think it's the best of both of those, which is very funny that it's both. I mean, to be fair, Metroidvania is not a concept massively divorced from the concept of Dark Souls. The concept of power-ups and stuff doesn't really exist in Dark Souls, but the concept of finding keys to unlock pathways and your shortcuts and everything like that, and how you go about exploring the world, is very much Metroidvania in this way. It just doesn't have the power-up aspect that Metroidvanias do. But if you turned all the power-ups in Metroidvanias into just literal keys, the similarities would be a lot closer. So it's not that wild. Yeah, I definitely think it's the best of both of those that I've played. Which is saying a lot, because while there's a lot of Metroid games, well, I've played through like 4 Metroid games at this point, and I've really enjoyed only one of them. I fucking love Metroid Prime 1, and I've played through a number of Souls games. I haven't played all of them. I haven't played 2 or Elden Ring. And I've barely touched Sekiro. Or Demons. I guess I've played, I guess it's probably simple to say I've played through 1, 3, and Bloodborne. I guess it's probably easier to say that. Like, I think this game's better than Bloodborne. I absolutely think this game's better than Bloodborne. Both in terms of world design and getting around, and boss fight design. Now, is the main reason because I'm a, absolute, like, petty bitch, and I'm just like, this game's better than Bloodborne because Bloodborne has level ups and this game doesn't? Is it purely because of that pettiness that I think that this game is better than Bloodborne in terms of being a game where you fight a bunch of boss fights. That's a big part of it. It's not the only part of it, but it is a big part of it. It is a big part of it. If you had more Souls games where there wasn't just level ups to just increase number of thing over time, but more permanent upgrades to increase certain skills, but also more abilities that you could just get and swap in and around while you're playing to just choose different like loadouts of abilities and sets to fight different boss fights, as opposed to the only way to do that is to respec your entire character or play through the game with a different spec. If more Souls games were like that, then I might change my mind. But unfortunately, Souls games insist on having level up systems. Which makes me really curious about Elden Ring in that regard. Makes me really curious about Elden Ring in that regard. I do want to stream Elden Ring one day. It'll just be, I'll stream Elden Ring when the people demand it, kind of thing. But I'm curious, because obviously Elden Ring will probably still have a level up system, but because of the more open world, non-linear nature of that game, it having a leveling system like a Souls game is either going to mean it's going to be the worst experience of a leveling system in a Souls game, or the best. Because it'll either be the worst in terms of it will just ruin the experience of it being non-linear and just kind of railroading you into a recommended path because of the way the leveling scaling will work, or it will mean that your levels and numbers can actually determine what difficulty it is in terms of when you go around, so you can adjust the difficulty of, oh, you want to do something when you're well and truly under-leveled because you want to challenge yourself? Go for it. Do you want to come back to this when you're over-leveled so you can just burst through it and just not give a shit? Do that. Because that's how you treat normal Souls games, but because they're much more linear, well, it just doesn't work as well. Like, will Elden Ring be worse because it will just be, oh, I've got no chance, I just don't have high enough numbers because I'm in somewhere that's meant to be for 40 levels higher, so you just feel like you've got no chance whatsoever? Or will it be a case of a game where it'll feel like Breath of the Wild, where you can just be like, fuck it, I'm coming back later, and then you come back later and it feels like a fair challenge, or you just fucking wipe the floor with it, and then that's its own level of satisfying. I'll have to find out. Hey! Hey, there we go. I survived the rapid diving phase once, and then I won. Ripped to a real one. I survived the phase of him just rapidly going donk, 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 donk constantly once, and then that was enough, and we beat it. Hell yeah, let's go. Hell yeah, let's go. So what's left? Failed Champion, Grey Prince Zote, Markov, and Nightmare King Grim. I think we try Grey Prince Zote. See what the damage is like. See how fucked it is. Because then we can leave the gauntlet of horror that is Failed Champion, Markov, and Nightmare King Grim. We have an hour each for those for a 3-hour stream and see how that goes. The words are off the screen! How many of the words have gone off the fucking screen? What the hell? The top one was clipping off the top. What the hell? Oh my god. God, I forgot how much this fight sucks. I forgot how much this fight fucking blows. So I think Grey Prince Zote is a fight where it's just like, God, wow, this fight fucking sucks. Affectionate, right? This fight fucking sucks, and I mean that positively. Whereas Markov as a fight fucking sucks, and I mean that derogatorily. Like, this fight's a fucking piece of shit. And it's Zote, and I wouldn't want it any other way. I wouldn't want it any differently. It's Zote. Super Zote is a fight that should suck, exactly. All is right in the world. This fight's a fucking piece of shit. As all things should be. Oh my god, I forgot how you do that. When you body slam, the pogo just gets fucked up with its timing. Oh my god. So I was about to say, I wonder, because he's so hard to hit. Oh my god, asshole. Because he's so hard to hit, do I want to go for the womb babies? Do I want to go for the soul babies to just home in and track and kill you? So I just let my spiders chip away at you to get soul, and I let my soul be auto-used to just attack you automatically with the soul babies. I was about to wonder if that would be a good idea, but then I realized because of all the ads that you have, the soul babies actually hitting you and not the ads would be very hard to actually make happen. So it wouldn't really work anywhere near as well. I can never tell where he's going to fall for that attack. I feel like him falling from the sky. I didn't even realize one was still flying. I feel like him falling from the sky is a thing of wait till he falls and then dash out of the way. Because I'm trying to work out where he is and I'm not able to do it. I think I mentioned it. I love how in British Fantasy so can puke up baby versions of himself. The bugs reproduce asexually, so this is how Bretta's gonna have kids with him. I just have no idea what you're meant to do for any phase of this fight. There's no phase of this fight where I'm just like, oh yeah, this is a good way of getting out of this attack. This is pure improvise and hope for the best. Which I'm bad at. As obsessively... Okay. I was about to say, can I cheese it? No, I cannot. This fight is such bullshit. This fight is such horseshit. Like, he just he'll just change what he's doing for his attack in the middle of it. So constantly. I'm gonna do a dive attack. Wait, no, I'm going to move myself sideways in the sky to get out of the way of the attack. Like, because I'm a fucking asshole. Oh my god. I got hit like 3 times just trying to pogo on him. Even just pogoing on him is something that's difficult. That's how you know this fight is fucked. Just pogoing on an asshole who's jumping side to side is difficult here. But that being said, I probably have a much stronger now. I'm pretty sure all of his babies I could probably one-shot at this point. I should probably take advantage of that. Yeah, I can one-shot his babies. I need to not be scared of them and just fucking attack them. Because I can just fucking kill them. Oh god, you're such a wibbly prick! Though the explosive babies is still a problem. What do you do with this fight? What is this fight? So the problem is that we're going to all this effort to do all this side stuff in this game. I don't think I'm going to be able to beat all the Pantheons. I don't think I'm going to be able to do all the Pantheons. I don't know what fights are in them. But there are certain fights here that if they show up in the Pantheon, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the, like... Because it can take... There are some fights in this that one fight appearing in a Pantheon will make it borderline impossible for me to do it. Because I can never do the fight consistently. So this is a worry that a big worry that I have. Like, if Zod's in a Pantheon, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat that Pantheon. Because I don't think I can ever beat Zod consistently enough that I'd be able to, like, clear him consistently to try and clear through several boss fights in a row. You could shove Nightmaking Grim into a fucking Pantheon, and I would probably be able to, like, get consistent enough at it that I could do it. I don't think I can do that for Zod. Though, to be fair, we are doing these fights on... Ascended. we are doing these fights on Ascended, where health pools are increased and damage output's increased. If the Pantheons are just the normal versions of the fight, we'd probably kill Zote in like 5 attacks. So there is that. I gotta remember, damage output, we're going to be killing things way faster in that, so it won't be anywhere near as much of a stretch. You know what? I'm not even gonna try pogoing on you when you do that stuff anymore. I'm just gonna hang out on the wall. I'm just gonna hang out on the wall when he starts doing a dash attack. Because I cannot pogo on him consistently enough to have it be something I can try and do. I'm just gonna run to a wall and I'm just gonna wall jump. Fuck it. Basically all of the... not all of them. Again, I reckon I could get Nightmaking Grim down consistently. Especially with extra damage output. Especially with extra damage output. Compared to the first time I did it. I think I could get Nightmaking Grim down consistent. Where, like, most of the times that I try it, I can beat it. It might take some effort to get there, but I reckon I could do that for that. I don't know if I could do that for this. Markov not Ascended? Probably? Failed Champion? God, no. White Defender would be another one that would be like a struggle to get consistent. Umu. If the Umu that appears in the Pantheons... If the Umu that appears in the Pantheons is indeed this, the version of Umu that we do here, where we don't have Quirrell, getting that consistent's gonna be rough. Like, even the one I struggled with earlier today, Soul Tyrant. I reckon I could get Soul Tyrant consistent. Because I can work out what to do for Soul Tyrant and then do it. It just requires effort to get to that point. But if I did it enough times, I could get to that. Especially, again, not Ascended, way high damage output. But there are some fights where I just don't think that's going to happen. No! I meant to dash and I didn't attack. Ugh. Balls. Balls. I cracked my finger just then. It, like, vibrated in my hand and now I feel a little tingly. Ow. Just kill me. Twice in a row. Twice in a row, I went to jump. My brain said jump, and I pressed attack. Twice in a row. I very much have chosen a brain go burr kind of day to do some of these fights. Oh, Jesus. That's fine. It's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine. I guess he does spit all the babies in a row. When he goes to spit babies, I just gotta focus on killing them. Like, before doing anything else. Okay, ready? Oh God! Run. One baby there. Oh God! Oh Jesus! Okay, well. Overcommitted to the way I was watching. Good trade, good trade. No! God damn it. I went up to the wall to get some extra height to try and dodge past you. And then you just jumped up the wall. Like a bastard. Oh God! I didn't even see you get ready for that. Ah, fuck. Go babies, go! Yeah. Come on, babies. There we go. Yay! There we go. I think I actually am starting to get it. I feel like that. I don't think I was bullshitting that attempt in terms of just panicking and react and just trying to react. I think I was actually getting a read on that. I think I was actually getting a read on some of his moves in terms of like ways to consistently dodge them, or at least start preparing to dodge them in a way that if he changes what he's doing, I know how to respond to that. I think I was starting to get the download on that. It felt like it at the very least. It felt like I was getting the download on that of working out how to actually do it. It felt... I felt it. I felt it at least. Still hard as balls, but you know. Anyway. I think I will end it there. Primarily because the three that are left are the Failed Champion, Markov, and Nightmare King Grim. And I don't think any of those are going to take me less than an hour to try and do. I think all of those are going to take over an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and save those for not 3 hours into a stream. I will go ahead and save that for another time. We are making good progress. To be fair, I had no idea how much of Godheim we were actually going to do. I think this is a pretty good go at it so far. Considering all of these are upgraded versions of the fights, now that I actually am personally upgraded, like, we're doing a lot of these fights on the harder version. Not the impossible version of don't get fucking hit. This is certainly a respectable run at it. Again, the Pantheons are the one that terrify me because certain boss fights can appear in the Pantheons and just ruin everything. You know what would be... You know what's something that would be interesting? You know what would be really interesting? The difference between Ascended and Radiant here, I reckon there are some fights here that Ascended aren't that bad, but the Radiant would be a nightmare. Like, I feel like for some fights, the difference between Ascended and Radiant would be a small gap. Like, to get good enough to beat the fight, you probably don't want to get hit in the first place, so just doing it without getting hit would be a little bit. Where some of the fights, getting through it with only getting hit 1 or 2 or 3 times, super possible. Super simple, not that hard. No hits whatsoever though, and the fight would fucking skyrocket to infinity. Unfortunately, I think Markov would be one that is hit really hard by that, which is concerning because Markov is already a fucking nightmare on Ascended. Like, Markov is already pretty high up there on Ascended, but doing Markov with 0 hits? Oh, fuck, that would be that would be terrifying. That would be, oh, Jesus Christ. Some of these fights would be a major difference of just never getting hit. Like, getting hit once or twice is fine, but no hits at all would take it to a whole other level. Like, Nightmare King Grim, I feel like the difference between Nightmare King Grim, Ascended, and Radiant wouldn't be massive. I don't think that would be that different. Just because if you're getting to the point where you're good enough, I would say, at least for the way that I'm playing the game, when we beat Nightmare King Grim in the base game, I did the attempts that I did it. I think I got hit only once or didn't get hit on the attempts that I did it. Well, I feel like because of how specifically learnable something like Nightmare King Grim is, if you're getting to the point where you can beat it, you're probably at the point where you're dodging most of the attacks consistently anyways. Like, if there's one attack of Nightmare King Grim that you're just getting hit on multiple times, you're not making it to the end of that fight. Because he repeats all of the attacks repeatedly. So getting the difference between no hit, like, some hits and no hits wouldn't be that much. But there are some fights where you can squeeze by getting 1 or 2 hits and then just killing them before you get enough hits in that you'll die. But with 0 hits at all, like Umu would be one where that's a big difference. Umu would be a huge difference getting 0 hits. Just because of how much electricity spawns and the fact that the explosions are the jellyfish. Because it doesn't take that many hits to kill Umu, like once you open it up from what we experienced. So the idea of killing Umu before it kills you is like it still took us a while, but it was like basically a brand new fight. But nothing? Oh, Jesus. The Oblobble. I feel like Oblobble would be another one. Like, Oblobble's not that bad on Ascended. I feel like something like Oblobble would be fucking horrifying on Radiant. Because Oblobble you can kind of DPS through. Of just get some hits in while the bullet hell is happening, and if you get clipped, kill it before it kills you. But getting no hits on the bullet hell of Oblobble? Oh god. That one would, like, fucking go up a lot, I think, from Radiant. Like, Dung Defender and White Defender, I don't think would be that different. Watcher Knight wouldn't be that different, I think. It's just certain fights, the difference between some hits and no hits would be massive. I'm not doing Radiant as part of this. Radiant is where I draw the line. It's kind of the same as when we did Celeste. B-sides and C-sides and getting all the berries. I was willing to do that in Celeste. Because at that point, it's still all new content, basically. So it's still, like, it's a new, fresh thing to do. Even if some of it is an upgraded challenge of what you did before. It's an upgraded, it's a kind of a new thing. That's why I'm okay doing Ascendants here. Because either just the increased health pool means that you can't DPS through it as much, or they actually change aspects of the fight. So Ascended is a different experience compared to doing the attuned fights that we did throughout the game. Whereas Radiant is Ascended, but you do it perfectly. And for the purposes of an LP, I think that pushes the line of that's gonna get tedious if I do it for an LP. It's why I didn't get the golden strawberries in Celeste. Because doing all B-sides and C-sides are way harder new challenges. Golden berries in Celeste do the level without dying. So, it's not a new thing, so the tedious of how long it would take to be that perfect for an LP is just, nah, I'll pass on that. That I will pass on. It's like, I'll try my best at the Pantheons. I'll try my best at the Pantheons, because even if they are the same fights that I've done before, the difference between doing an individual fight on its own and doing a boss rush gauntlet is a genuine difference that the gameplay experience of that has changed enough that I find it worthwhile. So that I would consider. I'll try to do the Pantheons. Again, if something like Zod or Markov appear in there, then it might be a different problem. But again, from what I remember of the first one we did here, they're not Ascended. Because I'm pretty sure we did some of the really basic bitch ones before, and they were not Ascended in the first one. Plus, the first Pantheon did have a unique boss fight at the end too. That is also true, and we also have multiple other boss fights here that we haven't unlocked. There are multiple boss fights here that we haven't unlocked. Like, there's the second Mantis Lords, and there's the second Nosk, which I'm assuming they're in Godhome. Because we tried to unlock them in the base game before, I think. But we have the journal. We have the Hunter's Mark. So I don't think the second Mantis Lords and Nosk are going to be in the base game. Because we have the Hunter's Mark, which is for finding everything. It would make sense. We went searching, couldn't find anything. It would make sense if anything that's unique to Godhome doesn't count for Hunter's Mark completion. Because how would the hunter know that this stuff... How would the hunter know that a new version of Nosk exists? The hunter's not going to know that. The hunter hasn't been to Godhome. So it would make sense that stuff here doesn't count towards that completion. Like Oro and Mardo probably don't count. The various other things that are listed down there that are just the new things that we've not seen up there, they're probably just brand new. But a new Mantis Lords and a new Nosk. I'm going to assume they're Godhome. So it might just be when we get to those fights in Godhome, they're different. It could just be that. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, there's also new fights in the Pantheons. So there is also that. Anyway, I'm going to end it there for today. Bit of a short one, but all of my streams that are on this are like 5 to 6 hours during the week now. So I'm going to take a break for myself today and stop streaming after 3 hours so I can stop streaming before 6 p.m. and eat dinner at a reasonable time today. Next time we come back to Hollow Knight, we will throw our face at the wall that is failed champion Markov and Nightmare Grim. One of those I'm excited for. The other two are going to give me PTSD. Fucking awesome. Thank you all so much for watching. And until then, this is version 2, signing out.